Thank you, Mark. Yes, a pointed reference to Manchester United's visit here when they were beaten in a grey kit. Derby are in all grey with little yellow trim around the bottom of the shorts. They've made 6 changes this evening. Southampton have made 5. Derby have just broken away from the huddle. It's taken us a little while, actually, Michael, to try and get down team formations. We're not entirely sure this is going to be right, but we'll give it our best shot and then we'll pick it up as we go in the game. You can probably tell from the atmosphere around us as well that the St Mary's Stadium is not packed. Just under 1,000 fans have travelled to support Derby tonight, and we think something like 10,000 or so, maybe just above, in a stadium that holds around about 32,000. Anthony Taylor's just waiting for the OK from the television companies to say that they are ready to go. They are. He blows his whistle. We're underway. Derby kick-off. Tom Huddleston, who's playing in central midfield, gets on the ball early, and they come back to their Dutch goalkeeper, Kelly Roos, who was also in goal for the first tie at Pride Park, which finished 2-2. Romeo into Shane Long. Keogh's there quickly for Derby and clears and knocks the ball out for a throw. First sight of Frank Lampard in the dark black Derby tracksuit. His coat is open on a chilly evening. He has a hooded top underneath that, and he's gone and taken his seat in the Derby technical area. Cedric is playing right back this evening for Southampton. He's been tackled and won a throw, which means that the 18-year-old Kane Ramsey, who's normally a right back, is starting at left back this evening for Southampton. I'll give you their full team in just a second. They are in the red and white vertical stripes. Stuart Armstrong has lost the ball. Mason Mount, young man on loan from Chelsea, brings it forward for Derby, who are a fluid attacking unit. Harry Wilson gets involved early on, plays it to Waghorn. Waghorn shoots, and that's a comfortable save for Angus Gunn. So before we get the thoughts of Michael Brown, here's your Southampton team. Gunn in goal, the 18-year-old Ramsey at left back, Cedric at right back. They have now switched. Michael's just waved his pen at me, and Cedric has now gone over to left back. So that's happened in the first couple of minutes of the game. Derby are attacking down the right hand side. Southampton are struggling to clear their lines. Bogle to Huddleston, 25 yards from goal, plays it out to the right. Derby caught offside, and Southampton will get the free kick. One thing I can be sure of, I think, Michael, is that Jack Stevens and Yannick Vestergaard, the Dane, are the centre-backs for Southampton. Ward-Prowse and Romeo in front of them. Tyreek Johnson, the 20-year-old, wide one side. Mohamed El Yunusi, the Norwegian international who's yet to spark since joining from Basel in the summer, on the other side. And Stuart Armstrong playing off Shane Long. Michael is doing some frantic scribbling. Have you got any Tipp-Ex there, by the way? Oh no, that is a pen. You can actually rub out ink, is it?
You can rub it out.
Very
no,
good.
It might be a back three, actually, Ali. Do you know?
Back three you're going.
Yeah,
it
might be Ramsey going in at right-sided centre-back with Stevens and Vestergaard. Cedric on the right, sort of a wing-back. So a 3-4-2-1.
Gotcha. OK, good. Give you the Derby team in just a second. 2.5 minutes played at the St Mary's Stadium. As Mark was saying, this is the last spot in the 4th round up for grabs. 31 teams are through. Southampton and Derby playing for the right here to meet Accrington at Accrington Saturday the 26th of January in a 12:30 kickoff, which will also be one of 5 lives 4th round FA Cup commentaries. 6 changes for Derby tonight in this change strip of grey. They've started well this evening. 2-0 down in the first leg they were. They scored 2 brilliant goals in quick succession in the second half to get back into that game. Jack Marriott with the first, and Tom Lawrence with an absolute stunner for the second. Jack Marriott actually had a fabulous chance right at the end of that game to win it for Derby. He couldn't take it, and that's why we're here this evening. Armstrong down the left-hand side, and Tyreek Johnson, who looks like he's playing in that sort of left wing-back role, on the other side. So you've got the 2 youngsters, actually, Michael. You've got Ramsey in the right wing-back role, and Tyreek Johnson, the 20-year-old, in the left wing. I mean, one thing they are both going to have is bags of energy and pace, isn't it?
Lots of pace. It's a great opportunity. You talk about the young players, 18, 19 years of age, to get to play at this level live on BBC One, which is a brilliant opportunity in the FA Cup. Take the opportunity for everybody to see.
Cedric plays a little ball infield to El Yunusi. He's on the turn, finds Ward-Prowse. That's his first touch of the evening, and he's lost it. Bryson plays it out of defence for Derby. Waghorn is a bulky, powerful runner. He's knocked off the ball. There's a foul there on Shane Long. Free kick for Southampton. Derby then, Kelly Roos in goal. Frank Lampard's changed both full-backs this evening. Jayden Bogle and Scott Malone, right back and left back respectively. He's stuck with his usual centre-back pairing. Richard Keogh, ever present in the Championship this season, and Fikayo Tomori, who is on loan from Chelsea. Craig Bryson, Tom Huddleston and Mason Mount. And then a front three of Waghorn, Jack Marriott and Harry Wilson on loan from Liverpool. I always enjoy watching the Ward-Prowse set-piece delivery. Bends a ball into the penalty area. Good delivery, headed away. Marriott with a second header. Armstrong just clips the ball forward. And then 6'7" tall centre-back Yannick Vestergaard suddenly tries to turn into Cristiano Ronaldo down the left-hand side, loses the ball, and it's out for a throw-in to Derby. So Southampton 0, Derby 0. 5 minutes gone in the first half, and like I was saying, Michael, I don't think we're obviously not going to have a belting atmosphere this evening, but I do hope we're going to get a good game of football. Two teams who want to play some good stuff.
Well, they do. It's a brilliant opportunity. Derby will be coming here thinking, they've been to Manchester United, been to Chelsea, had Southampton at home. They'll fancy their chances. That confidence of going to Manchester United and winning will give them all season. And it was, I was at Sheffield United and you're playing lots of cup games, and you're thinking, can it help you? It does help you. It gives you that confidence to go further on in the season.
Southampton 0, Derby 0. Here's Kane Ramsey, the 18-year-old, who really was given that baptism of fire here just before the new year, up against Manchester City in the 3-1 defeat at St Mary's Stadium. Good sliding challenge there from Jack Stevens. Popular lad here at Southampton, wins the ball and knocks it out for a Derby throw on the right. 10 home games played so far this season for Southampton, and they have won only one of them, remarkably. That was against Arsenal mid-December. Ralph Hasenhutl's first home game turned into a 3-2 win against Arsenal. His last two, though, he's lost against West Ham and Manchester City. Derby trying to attack down the left-hand side. Ramsey sticks a right boot out and wins the tackle. Mason Mount is fouled by Ward-Prowse. Free kick, Derby. Full 40 yards from goal. Good thinking from Tom Huddleston. Just walks up to the ball, takes it quickly, sweeps it with his left foot to the right. Bogle's ball looking for Marriott, makes the run at the near post, and it comes all the way through to Angus Gunn, who is Southampton's keeper. Michael Brown.
Well, we've got Angus Gunn. It's brilliant just to see his father, Brian Gunn, just down in front of us with his agent, Paul Stretford. He's travelled a long way to come and watch him. But again, it's all about the young players' development. It's great to have that opportunity in FA Cup.
Angus Gunn, who was goalkeeper in the first tie, also between the sticks in the 0-0 draw at Stamford Bridge, but replaced by McCarthy again for the game against Leicester. Ball into Shane Long at the near post, couldn't connect on the half volley, and it bounces safely into the arms of Kelly Roos. So both teams just had a little sight of each other's goal in the early stages.
That'll give the youngster lots of confidence. Johnson down the left hand side, a great ball in. Long almost gets it, but well collected by Kel Roos at the near post.
Ball is back here then with Tomori, who I watched in that League Cup tie against Chelsea, where unfortunately against his parent club he scored for them, netted an own goal. Derby played well, eventually lost 3-2, as Michael was saying, had the fantastic win at Old Trafford, and here they are again up against Premier League opposition. Waghorn comes skipping in from the right hand side, pacey pass finds Marriott, good turn from him, low cross, just hits Bogle, couldn't control it, and it's behind for a goal kick to Southampton. By the way, just looking at Frank Lampard and talking about FA Cup, you and he were on opposite sides playing for the trophy in the final in 2010, weren't you?
Yes, we were. It wasn't a good day in the end. We missed the penalty for Portsmouth, but a terrible, great, enjoyable day for myself and my family. To play against. I think, did Frank Lampard miss a penalty?
He did.
But so did we, Kevin Prince Boateng.
Yeah, I think to give Portsmouth the lead at the time. Chelsea won it 1-0. Here's El Yunusi, plays it to the right, and Cedric's tackled by Malone, and the ball's out for a Southampton throw. What did you say to Frank before he kicked off?
I told you in the build-up, didn't I, Ali? I said, "Hi Frank, let's have some fun today." He knew what I meant. He goes, "You're crazy." So, he knew. He always, he's always in good spirits. He always giving that extra bit of attention because he's such a good player. He took it very, very well. He's a great player, wonderful finish. They probably needed him on the end of an effort. They needed him on the end of the effort in the first game at Derby at Pride Park on the 95th minute when you see Marriott go through. Typical chance for Frank Lampard just to caress it in the net.
I thought exactly that when I watched it on the highlights match of the day. Southampton have won a corner. Marriott breaking into the penalty area, as Michael said, in the last minute of the game. It was Frank Lampard all over, and normally when it left his boot, it ended up in the back of the net. He loves the FA Cup, Frank Lampard, won it 4 times and wants his Derby team to get through tonight. Ward-Prowse with the corner into the penalty area, important flick header away. Jack Marriott is now all on his own, charging out of defence, sliding challenge on him by Tyreek Johnson. Then he got a little touch of the ball, threw himself to the floor, and it's knocked out by him for a throw-in to Derby. I think Tom Huddleston for a second there thought he was going to be penalised for a foul. Johnson was expecting contact, wasn't he? It didn't come.
It didn't come, and he dived. That's what Tom Huddleston was asking for. He's got away with one there. He should have got a yellow card for diving. We don't want to see that. He's a young player, a little bit excited. Maybe that's why he gets the benefit of the doubt.
Waghorn for Derby. Southampton 0, Derby 0. BBC Radio 5 Live, the last FA Cup third round replay. That is a thunderous challenge from Ward-Prowse. Collects the ball on the right hand side just outside the area. Not the best cross from him, low, intercepted by Huddleston, and behind for another Southampton corner.
Great work from Ward-Prowse. You can see he wants to make it happen, lots of energy. It's a poor delivery, but he managed to get his team a corner. Good defending from Tom Huddleston.
Back in the team, James Ward-Prowse under Ralph Hasenhüttl. He has started the last 4 games, scored from the penalty spot in the 2-1 win at Leicester on Saturday, and he's a key man with the set pieces. Delivers this corner, good ball in, headed powerfully over the bar by Stevens. Didn't get got a fairly clear run at it, but there was a defender there with him just putting him off. Good power on the header, but balloons over the bar and behind for the goal kick.
It was a great delivery. He just gets away, Stevens. He gets a free header right in the middle of the goal. Tamori there will be disappointed. It should have been a goal for me.
Yeah, you're right. Just looking at the replay again, better chance than I initially thought. Southampton pressing high, that's what Hasenhüttl likes. How can Derby beat the press? Well, Tamori's done well, takes it inside long, gives it to Huddleston. Huddleston plays a rather slowish pass across his half to Bogle. Bogle gets it back to him. Huddleston's advanced to the centre circle, and Derby now build down the left-hand side. Young Harry Wilson with the sort of 1950s look, the slick-back hair, neat side parting. Mason Mount, right-footed pass, pinged across the pitch, almost intercepted. Good skill on the right-hand side by Bogle. Makes space for himself, low cross in. Stevens is there, side foots it away for Southampton. The ball drops down for Bryson, back to Keogh for Derby. Then Huddleston side foots one towards Waghorn, nods it down to Craig Bryson again. Plays a short pass up the right to Bogle. Bogle was looking to find Bryson, and Bryson just stopped in his run, and eventually the ball is out for a Southampton throw on the left.
Great confidence from Bogle. There, the England under-21 manager is here, Aidy Boothroyd, and his assistant Lee Carsley. So this is again the players will be looking to impress, who can get into that squad. So you're always on the lookout. Great start from him, a couple around the corner, getting away from Bogle. That time he just didn't come away with it.
It's another 18-year-old we're watching in that sort of right-back position this evening. One for Derby, and the right centre-back is Kane Ramsey for Southampton. Derby come again. Waghorn, ball on his left boot, just lays it off to Bogle. He's heavily involved in the early stages here. Just under 13 minutes played. Southampton 0, Derby 0. Malone back to Tamori. Tamori across to Keogh. This is all inside Derby's half at the moment. Bogle again. Just assesses options up the pitch. Decides to come back and across to Keogh. Now with Malone, the left back, just inside his own half, looking for a run down the left-hand side from Marriott. Headed away from him by Jack Stevens for Southampton. Shane Long, clever little chest down there, finds Armstrong, and then Armstrong looks to release Long down the inside right channel, but completely overhits the pass.
Yeah, he did overhit it. It was a great build-up play from both teams. Derby are just settling in now, moving the ball around. Unselfish run down the channel from Jack Marriott keeps it alive, so he'll be able to do that, turn the Southampton back 5 round. And that's what they're doing. They've now got that confidence and they're moving the ball around at Derby County.
Michael Brown, FA Cup finalist in 2010. As we were just explaining with Portsmouth, semi-finalist with Sheffield United as well. 2003 was that, against Arsenal.
Yeah, we were very unfortunate that day. Graham Paul got in the way and Arsenal scored. I don't know if you remember it.
I do.
It was David Seaman's greatest ever save.
Amazing save from David Seaman. The ball was behind him and he managed to claw it away from the goal line. Southampton attacking down the right. Ward-Prowse to Oriol Romeu with his shaven head. Wide to Cedric. Back to Ward-Prowse. Right to Shane Long, who's got the gas but can't quite catch it down by the byline on the right-hand side. But nice interplay from Southampton there in the build-up, and I think Hasenhüttl enjoyed that. Goal kick for Derby.
Yeah, he did. They want to try and make things happen. Derby now are trying to play out from the back. Kel Roos, obviously only 7 or 8 appearances. Is he confident enough to do that? I had him at Port Vale. He come and done well for me. So he's got great ability with his feet.
Uses his right foot here to play it out to Bogle. Bogle immediately under pressure by Tyreek Johnson, who's won the ball for Southampton. Romeu's cross in is blocked and it's behind for a Southampton corner. So Derby are going to take that risk, but that was really good closing from Johnson. Great pressure.
That's what obviously Southampton will be looking to do. Can they set the traps? That's the difference as well. You sort of let one player have it. Would it be, no disrespect, but would it be Keogh? He's not the most comfortable. He's an out-and-out defender. Let him have the ball and then the trap comes from there.
15 minutes played. Goalless in this third round replay. Ward-Prowse, low corner, volleyed away by Waghorn. Bad challenge. Bad challenge on Harry Wilson, just back from a hip injury. Was that Johnson? Yeah, it was Tyreek Johnson again. He's been a bit excitable in the first 15 minutes here, gets a yellow card.
Well, he has, that's what it brings. It's a real late challenge from behind. I think is it Mason Mount, he's struggling there, he's definitely caught him. But he's fortunate now, so I know what Southampton are going to say, well, it wasn't really a dive, but Derby and Frank Lampard are going to say he should be off the pitch now.
That's interesting, yeah. He could easily have had the yellow card for the early dive when he made the most of no contact from Tom Huddleston, and there he is with a yellow card. He's going to have to be careful. And I think Ralph Hasenhüttl would be wise for one of his team to go over and have a little word with Tyreek Johnson, 20 years old, making his first start for Southampton this evening, having joined the club's academy from Swindon back in 2014. Nathan Redmond, one of those on the bench, by the way, for Southampton, scored both goals to give Southampton the 2-0 lead in the first tie, but just being given a rest this evening. Southampton host Everton on Saturday. 16 minutes gone, 0-0. Throw in for Derby, 30 yards from the Southampton goal on the left. Malone gets that back from Marriott. Now Mount has it on the left-hand side, plays it just behind Wilson, who didn't see the pass coming. Little nod down from Shane Long. Again, Armstrong tries to find him. Long gets a toe on the ball, but can only find Waghorn for Derby. Flicks one over the top of the Southampton defence, but Marriott can't catch it, and it's with the Southampton keeper, Angus Gunn.
Just looking there in the build-up play, Shane Long, excellent. He just cushions the header down. A quick little 1-2 with Prowse. They were very unlucky not to get away.
Charlie Austin suspended at the moment. Manolo Gabbiadini has been sold. Danny Ings is out injured. So Ralph Hasenhüttl slightly limited in his choice of strikers. Jack Stevens.
There's been a lot said about strikers in this window. Will they be looking to try and improve in that area?
Ward-Prowse pings a lovely ball with his right foot, bounces twice. Cedric, dreadful cross, slices it straight behind for the goal kick. Ward-Prowse's initial ball was fantastic.
It was brilliant. It's that diagonal pass. It was inch perfect into Cedric. He tries to play the ball early. He just doesn't get his foot round it from the right-hand side, and it goes off, sort of mishits it behind the goalkeeper.
Goal kick, Derby then. 18 minutes played. BBC Radio 5 live at the St Mary's Stadium on the south coast. Vestergaard wins the header. Armstrong can't control it for Southampton, so Huddleston very casually plays it back to Tamori. On to Scott Malone on the left. Malone, who was one of the summer signings for Frank Lampard, joining from Huddersfield to try and help Derby out of the Championship this season. They currently sit 6th spot. but just one win in their last 7 games in all competitions, and of course beaten at Leeds 2-0 on Friday night, just after the whole Spygate storm erupted, and there's been plenty more of that today from Marcelo Bielsa. More on that, by the way, in the 5 Live Football Daily podcast, which you should subscribe to. BBC Sounds app is the place to go. Throw in for Southampton on the left. Tyreek Johnson on the yellow card holds the FA Cup football above his head. His goalkeeper Angus Gunn is a man alone in the Southampton half, and he's just trying to keep himself warm with a few exercises. Johnson can't really decide what to do here. Foul throw. That's what he does.
Again, he's a little bit nervous. He needs a little bit of help now. A senior player go over to him, say relax. He's been involved now. He could have had a yellow card for diving, then he gets one for a bad tackle. Now it's a foul throw. So he just needs to calm down and steady and play his way into the game. That's where you need a senior player to get hold of him.
Ward-Prowse outside of his right foot just toes it down the line to Shane Long. Shane Long brings it in from that left-hand side, almost tackled. The ball runs to Romeo. Romeo to Vestergaard. Vestergaard plays back into his own half, and here's Stevens. Stevens with his right foot looking for Cedric, who stretches. I think he was onside there, and he just couldn't quite collect the ball in mid-air. Had he done so, he still had a bit of work to do, but he was through.
He did. It was a brilliant run from the right wing back. Cedric runs right behind the Derby back foot. It was a brilliant diagonal pass from Stevens, just out the outreach of his toe. He sort of jumps into the air to try and get it, but it's a brilliant pass.
Southampton 0, Derby 0. 20 minutes played in this first half. Here's Malone. El Yunusi trying to close down here. Tamori has to play it back to Richard Keogh. Keogh knows there's pressure on, so gets rid of it to his right. Jayden Bogle goes with a longer pass towards Craig Bryson, headed away by Vestergaard, volleyed forward by Ward-Prowse. Huddleston has it for Derby. Back to Keogh, just lets that ball run past him. Comes back to the goalkeeper Roos, and Roos with his right foot floats it beyond the head of Scott Malone and straight out for a throw-in to Southampton.
Tried to overplay there and they've got caught out. The full-backs are on massively for Derby County. Can they get Bogle? Can they get Malone out when you're playing against a 5? And with Wilson pulling out one side, Wagger on the other, it's very difficult for the full-backs of Southampton to go on. So that's where the space is for Derby County.
Cedric shows Tyreek Johnson how to take a proper throw-in. El Yunusi challenged by Tamori in the left-back position for Derby, given away by Derby again. The ball bounces off Shane Long's shins, gets his cross in though. Keogh on the half volley clears it. Tamori with a header down the left-hand touchline. Romeo is there under a little bit of pressure. Ramsey back to Stevens. Stevens' pass is intercepted, and Derby just couldn't get away on the halfway line, and now Southampton counter. Ward-Prowse to his left-hand side to Johnson. Johnson's ball in. Oh, brilliant save from Shane Long, and Southampton can't force the rebound home. Stuart Armstrong was in there, and eventually Derby get the ball away. A fabulous reflex save from Kelly Roos keeps it 0-0.
What a save from Kel Roos. Oh, that'll give him some confidence. It was a brilliant move from Southampton. We talked a lot about him so far. Tyreek Johnson down the left-hand side. He delivers an inch-perfect ball in that corridor across the 6-yard area. Shane Long's there for a simple tap in middle of the goal. Kel Roos manages to get a hand to it, and it ricochets away. What a save.
Southampton have it again inside their own half. Shane Long can't quite believe that he hasn't given Southampton the lead. Goal scorer against Leicester on Saturday, denied by Roos with a wonderful reflex save. Midway through the first half at the St Mary's Stadium, first real rousing rendition of when the Saints go marching in. Angus Gunn marks that with a poor clearance from his right foot, and the ball is out for a throw-in to Derby on the left. Tamori to Malone, back to Tamori again, midway inside his own half, low pass, finds his fellow centre-back Richard Keogh. Now Craig Bryson just drops in front of that back four to collect possession, rolls it across to Tamori. He's very comfortable on the ball for Derby. Malone gives it to Mount. Mount back to Tamori. Here's Bryson. So Derby very comfortable keeping possession here, not really offering a threat at the moment. Tamori again given it by Keogh, pushes a short pass to his left and finds Malone. Back to Tamori into midfield and Huddleston switching play over to the right. Bryson to his right back Jayden Bogle. Waghorn just starts to move into position down the right hand side. Jack Marriott comes towards the ball, and Derby decide to work it again across the back. Keogh to Bryson, and Bryson comes all the way back to Roos. Good 20-30 passes put together by Derby. Not the best clearance by the Derby keeper. Here's Romeo to his left. Tyreek Johnson just showed too much of that there in the end to Bogle. He's tackled and the ball's out for a Southampton throw. Southampton 0, Derby 0. Here's Michael Brown.
Derby have had great possession there. That'll give them the confidence, but then where's the build-up? It's okay rolling it round the back, keeping to Lincoln, one into midfield and out. They've got to try and develop and go forward. Southampton is setting those traps. They've got good shape out of possession, and they're making it hard for them to progress any further up the pitch.
Johnson with the throw. Waghorn quickly in with the challenge after Ward-Prowse had played it back to the young Southampton winger. So Southampton have a throw in exactly the same position on the left-hand side. Tyreek Johnson beats the first man, looks up, couldn't see the cross. Ward-Prowse on the turn edge of the box. Huddleston's clearance hits Ward-Prowse, so Armstrong keeps it in. Johnson's cross deep to the far post. Malone stretches, just flicks his head at it, runs out of the Derby penalty area to Cedric. Strong challenge by Malone on Cedric, and the assistant referee eventually makes up his mind and gives Derby the throw in their left-back position. 20 minutes left in this first half. Southampton extremely close to taking that lead through Shane Long, but it remains 0-0. By the way, I should have mentioned video assistant referee in action tonight as well, Michael, just in case we get one of those decisions.
Just to make it even more complicated for us, Ali, but hopefully it'll be nice and simple.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it, though. Are you?
Yeah, once they get it right. I think the one for me is the celebration. Do you celebrate? Do you wait? That's the only uncertainty for me at the moment.
Armstrong, right-hand side for Southampton. Cedric's first time cross. Second, well, no, it's dropping that down by the far post. Actually turned into a slightly dangerous cross. I thought it was going straight behind for the goal kick. Shane Long jumped for it, but he is beaten in the air by Kel Roos, who's a vision in violet this evening, the Derby keeper. Just trots back to his penalty spot, takes a few steps back. Armstrong closes in. Roos with his right foot clears down the middle of the pitch. Marriott's beaten in the air, and now Ramsey, number 66 on his back for Southampton. 18-year-old Kane Ramsey plays back to his goalkeeper Angus Gunn, and it's with Jack Stevens. On to Vestergaard up towards the halfway line. Well read there by Tamori. It's just trodden on El Yunusi, which is why there was a sharp intake of breath from Michael. El Yunusi's picked himself up, actually, and he seems to be okay. Yeah, he's just, when he catches the top of the foot there, you're thinking right underneath the referee, Anthony Taylor, so there mustn't have been anything. For us at the start, you're thinking, has he clipped the top of him? Shane Long is going to chase that back pass. Roos is way outside his penalty area here, takes a touch, gives it to Keogh. Ward-Prowse closes in. Derby have played out very calmly, very assuredly. Keogh now through the middle to Waghorn. Lovely turn from Waghorn. On to Wilson, back to Mount, who shoots over the bar, but from one end to the other, that was swift, silky passing from Derby. It just didn't have the finish. Oh, magnificent move. Started with Kel Roos, nice and calm in possession. We had Keogh playing a 1-2, driving through the middle of the park. Off it goes into Wilson. He lays a little flick back, and Mason Mount, of all people, with his quality, you think he's going to curl it, but he puts the ball over. A brilliant move from Derby County. That's another one Frank Lampard would have fancied, by the way, getting on the end of, wouldn't he? Well, he could have just hit it near post, but he's gone for that curler and he's put it over. Vestergaard not outside the penalty area. Anthony Taylor is going to make Southampton restart, and Angus Gunn's not going to bother with playing out for the back. He's going to smash it right down the middle of the pitch. Keogh chests it down. Shane Long takes it off him. I think Armstrong's offside there. Yes, he is, which is unfortunate for Southampton, because that was developing into a decent opportunity. Definite offside, it was clear. Shane Long nice and bright, pinching the ball, wants to play forward. Derby back in control. Tom Huddleston's trying to get on the ball and get that possession going again for Derby County. Southampton 0, Derby 0. Winners away to Accrington Stanley of League One in round 4 after their third round win against Ipswich. Fourth round will begin on Friday week. 2 games that night: Bristol City Bolton and Arsenal Manchester United at the Emirates Stadium. Here's Mount again for Derby. On to Marriott. Just dances away from the challenge of Vestergaard. has support on the outside from Bryson, and the cross is just above Mason Mount's head. Mount had made a good run there, was on his own, and the cross had been a couple of inches lower. He might have been able to get a header on target.
Yeah, again, another fantastic move, making the spare man count. This time it was midfielder Bryson does the overlap. He's played in by Bogle. Brilliant ball across the face of the goal in that 6-yard area. If he could have just kept it on the ground, it would have been a better opportunity for Marriott, who was thinking he's close to getting a tap in.
It's Michael Brown with us on 5 Live this evening. Michael and I very much enjoyed West Ham Arsenal on Saturday. West Ham's 1-0 win with the goal from Declan Rice. Southampton 0, Derby 0. It remains as Bogle gets on the ball just inside the Derby half. Bryson comes towards him, back to Bogle again. Good bit of skill, just leaves Ward-Prowse for dead, then tries another one to beat Johnson. Johnson read it well. Now he's quick, Johnson, down the left-hand side, tries to thread it through to Shane Long, intercepted by Keogh. Here's Huddleston, who's your it's a cliche really, but he's your Rolls Royce, isn't he, in the middle of the park, Tom? The way he moves, just sort of glides slowly, never seems to be in too much of a rush.
Now it just shows you now 59% possession for Derby County, which is setting the tone for possession. They're building the way into this game. Still, Southampton have had the better opportunity. Mount
to Huddleston, back to Tamori. Tamori first time onto Keogh. Keogh controlled a tricky one well there, away to Bogle. Mount, just a little bit of space to work here, plays the 1-2. Mount's 25 yards out onto his right foot, just trying to slip a little pass through to Marriott. It's blocked, and is the ball going to route for a throw to Derby? It does. It was spinning and slowing. Bryson covered it all the way across the touchline, took the throw in quickly. Bogle, no, there's a foul there on Mason Mount. Free kick for Derby, 35 yards from goal in the inside right channel. They played some really nice stuff in this first half, Derby.
They have. They're getting the growing in confidence. Mason Mount on a half turn wants to make things happen. He releases it very quick. That's why he gets caught with Romeo. He tries to get tight with him. He can't. He bops it round the corner. Derby are growing into this game.
15 minutes remaining in the first half. Free kick for Derby. Harry Wilson, we've seen him score some wonderful goals for Derby and for his country from set pieces. This, though, I'm sure is going to be a cross into the penalty area. Two centre-backs heading for the far post. That goes in towards the near post. Ward-Prowse with a fairly easy header away. Wilson gets another go at it. Just side foots a pass here to Bogle. Bogle in the centre of the pitch. Looks right, looks left. Plays it to his left. And Scott Malone just launches one high in the air down the right-hand side. Johnson has it covered. Nods it behind for a Derby corner.
It was an orthodox ball, wasn't it, by Malone? A big, deep cross. It wasn't pretty, but again, Johnson gets a header away for a corner for Derby.
It's a shame from Derby. They worked the short one well, and then Bryson knocks it back to Waghorn, and Waghorn comes running towards him from the offside position. Southampton 0, Derby 0. In the long history of these two football clubs, this is only the fourth time. You're waiting for it, aren't you, Michael? You love it when I come out with these. Only the fourth time they've been drawn against each other in the FA Cup. The interesting thing here, though, is of the 5 games, Southampton have not won one. So Derby have gone through every single time with 3 wins and a couple of draws. So draw, obviously, in the first game this time round, and won not many years ago, but 1989 they had a draw in the first tie. That time they met in the FA Cup and Derby won the replay. So Southampton tonight trying to do something they've not done before against Derby in this competition. Huddleston with his right foot lobs it forward. Vestergaard has it covered, and it's out for a throw on the left.
We don't often see Tom Huddleston wasteful when he's been playing, and he's sharp. He'll take the ball away from someone. He's given the ball away. Just looks a little bit off the pace. He hasn't played the last couple of weeks, so that does take effect.
Throw in down the left from Southampton. They've lost possession now. That's Huddleston again. In short succession there, he's given the ball away twice. Kane Ramsey back to gun for Southampton. Long jump well to win that first header. Tamori's got it covered though. Cedric chests it down just inside the Derby half. Clips the ball with his left foot towards Johnson. Johnson caught by Bogle. And all of a sudden Derby turned this into an attack. And here's Marriott up against Ramsey, edge of the area, right foot drive straight at gun, and he makes a comfortable save.
He does. He comes to Huddleston. He made sure of a simple pass this time into Marriott. He fancies his chances. He goes left and goes right. with Kane Ramsey. Defends okay, sends onto his right foot. Again, not enough power on the effort. Very, very comfortable for Gunn.
Shane Long tackled on the left-hand side, throw in for Southampton. Just wonder what Ralph Hasenhüttl is thinking on the goalkeeper front at the moment. Angus Gunn is back in tonight. As I say, he got a Premier League start away at Chelsea. They drew the game 0-0. Also started in the first tie against Derby, and then Alex McCarthy came back in for the Leicester game. Gunn gets another go tonight, so we'll have to wait and see what happens on Saturday when they're at home against Everton. The ball is back with Derby's keeper though, Kel Roos. Right-footed clearance right down the middle of the pitch. Stevens wins the header for Southampton. Tyreek Johnson is there, plays the ball back to Vestergaard. Slightly awkward for Vestergaard here, under pressure, turns, chips the ball away with his right foot. Lovely cushioned pass from Ward-Prowse, finds Armstrong, and then Armstrong completely overhits a pass when Cedric was all alone on the right-hand side. That was a real waste.
It was a waste. There was acres for him to run into. It would have been a real good opportunity. Cedric wants to get forward, wants that ball. We'd seen earlier Ward-Prowse hits him with a perfect pass. His touch is out of his feet, so it's just not meant to be for him at the moment.
Huddleston finds the target this time with his pass. Wilson is closed down quickly by Romeu, and the ball is out for a Derby throw on the left. I think it goes without saying that neither manager will particularly want extra time this evening in what's become an extra game this season. We had Blackburn-Newcastle, of course, went into extra time last night.
It didn't look like it was going to do that, did it?
The funny thing about that, Michael, was that Ian Dennis and Chris Waddle were on commentary. Newcastle went 2-0 up, and Ian said something like, it wasn't quite this isn't going to go to extra time, but he tempted fate. And as soon as he said it, Chris went, Deno. And you knew what was coming, and sure enough, Blackburn got it back to 2-2, and Newcastle eventually got through. Great win for Shrewsbury last night as
Brilliant
well.
Run. But regards to extra time, we're ready for it.
We're
We're already ready for it.
Massively up for it. That's the reverse kiss of death, that's called. That's called the double bluff on tempting fate. Has to be a winner tonight. Could be extra time, could be penalty. Southampton 0, Derby 0. Derby throw. Malone, having taken that, plays the ball across his own half. Bogle almost didn't come and collect it. Gets Derby out of trouble. Huddleston clips one over the top. Waghorn chases, Gunn to the edge of his area, couldn't handle that. Clears with his right foot, and the ball's out for another Derby throw on the left.
So that's the high standards that Tom Huddleston sets. That's why we're saying to him, we've seen him do wonderful balls over the years. He's just done another one. Great ball into the Waghorn. He just couldn't get on the end of it. He's got a wonderful right foot, Tom Huddleston.
Wilson caught on the turn, in possession for Derby. Southampton have it in their own half. Ward-Prowse with a bit of pace is getting away from Bryson here, right down the middle of the pitch. Shane Long to his left-hand side, releases the pass. Long just tried to clip it past Bogle, didn't get enough on it, and Bogle makes the tackle and is able to clear for Derby from the edge of the area. Vestergaard nods it down. Romeu is caught, but he's not fouled. Just inside the Derby half. El Younousi with an important challenge just to slow Derby down. Still coming down the left-hand side though. Wilson and Mount, such nice movers across the pitch with the ball at their feet. You can tell these two have got bright futures in the game, enjoying their football under Frank Lampard at Derby this season, probably learning a thing or two from Huddleston as well. Huddleston into Tamori in the centre circle. Little layoff here from Marriott to Bryson, back to Marriott, edge of the area. Bryson's then in there, stopped in his tracks. Romeu clears up the middle of the pitch, and Keogh is able to intercept for Derby. Just a few times there, the final ball for Derby hasn't quite got through.
It hasn't. It almost fell for them there. It was a ball into Marriott's feet. It was a sublime touch. It was sort of pinged too hard for him. Brilliant touch. They got the reverse off Bryson. It just didn't fall in the area where you think it possibly could have been a great chance for them.
George has just pointed out to me, our producer George, why you're not too bothered about extra time this evening in these chilly climes. It's the old heated jacket, isn't it?
I feel quite snug at the moment.
I was going to say, you could actually sleep here in the stands this evening. You look so cosy. Here's Huddleston after Southampton have given the ball away. Mount just outside the area. Waghorn lets it run. Bryson, brilliant finish from Craig Bryson to give Derby the lead, and that was so well worked after Southampton gave the ball away on the edge of their box. A lovely dummy in the area there. The ball just ran through the legs. Bryson was there, and he didn't try and thump it. He just calmly rolled it into the bottom corner. Southampton 0, Derby 1, great goal.
A sublime goal. What a piece of football from Derby County. They've ripped Southampton apart. They've just tried it before with Bryson. It didn't come off. This time it did. It was a great little overs. Waghorn over, just set with a great pass into Bryson. Great little run on the 1-2. And what he was doing, Brel, is that little composure and stroked it in the far corner with his left foot. And he just stood there as if it was easy for him.
Craig Bryson's third goal of the season. Championship side Derby lead Premier League Southampton in the FA Cup. I said it at the start of the game, actually, Michael. The 2 goals they scored in the first tie were real quality. I mean, Tom Lawrence's was a strike from distance, but I remember the first Derby goal, there was a real sort of clever scooped pass into the volley for Jack Marriott, and that again was just a great goal.
That was first class goal. The finishing, the movement. And, you know, when you look and he gets into that area, Bryson's made 3 or 4 darting runs. You'd think he'd be tired. He gets in front of Anger's gun and he just calmly passes with his left foot into the far left corner, keeper's bottom left. Brilliant finisher, but we've got VAR at the moment.
I think they're looking at a potential offside, and yes they are, and we're getting it on our screen at the moment. So loads of blue lines just running across the Southampton penalty area. So Anthony Taylor is delaying the restart here. He's just telling Tom Huddleston, he says, we're just waiting to get confirmation that there is not an offside that is going to prevent this being a goal. It's Mount's ball in, little step over from Bryson, it finds Waghorn, Waghorn's return pass into Bryson, and the goal does not stand. It has been ruled out. It's 0-0. I didn't put a stopwatch on that, but this was exactly what you were saying, Michael, in the first half, that your issue with VAR is Derby score what looks like a brilliant goal, they go and celebrate, the fans all enjoy it. We're talking 90 seconds later it's been ruled out. Now the people watching that on the replays have a better view than us. Now if there is an offside, that looks like Waghorn's right boot
is
offside,
because you can't score your arm. The right boot is there, and it could be a wonderful decision by VAR. No, that is the unbelievable decision. You see that when you break it back, his foot is just slightly in an offside position.
And the other point in watching your football on the television, like you can do on the BBC tonight, or listening to us on 5 Live, is that you have to commentate on that as if it's a goal until you know otherwise. Otherwise, every single goal commentary is going to be brilliant goal, but will it stand? Question mark.
But it's true, Ali. We've just watched it the first time when it goes to VAR, and you think it should not be disallowed. But when it's the slow-mo, when it's slowed and showed again, that's when you see it. So even in real time, we struggled.
Okay, here's another one for you. Was it a clear and obvious error by the linesman not to spot it? No, it wasn't, because that is so difficult to spot. It's
we didn't spot it when we seen the rerun of the clip looking along the same line. It's only when you slow it right down.
But it is an offside call. It's an objective call, not a subjective call. And on the replay monitor, he is slightly offside, so the goal is ruled out for offside. Southampton 0, Derby 0. VAR in action in the FA Cup third round. And despite all those points I'm putting there, I am a fan of the decisions being correct. But I do take your point, Michael, and it is proved there that it is just a bit odd when a goal is celebrated, such a good goal as well, and then that sort of minute or two becomes completely irrelevant.
It was such a long time though, wasn't it? It was a real long time. We've seen the reruns, had celebrated, they were at kick-off and still not been decided. We've just seen an incredible piece of football now ruled out for millimetres. Yes, it was correct decision, but it's took away something special for Derby County.
Good. More for us to talk about at half-time. On the way, Southampton 0, Derby 0. And as I say, it'll all be in the Football Daily podcast for you tomorrow morning. As well. If you're a tennis fan, by the way, day 4 of the Australian Open tennis breakfast on air, 5 Live Sports Extra from 7 o'clock. Johanna Konta back in action, one of the commentary matches tomorrow. Tough one for her against Garbine Muguruza, so that'll be there for you tomorrow morning. Southampton 0, Derby 0. Bryson's goal ruled out by the video assistant referee. Mount looking for Waghorn. Vestergaard has the run covered, clears with his right foot. Malone could pass back into Marriott here. Left-footed attempt on the bouncing ball is smashed into the stands and behind for a goal kick to Southampton.
Derby County have moved the balls around. Yes, it was a poor finish, poor execution, but how well have they moved the ball and moved this Southampton side? Great chance, great save by Kel Rules, but the pressure's coming on. We're just going back to the decision now with VAR.
Waghorn in the middle of the penalty area.
His
there.
right boot. It's his right boot, his right foot. You're misled by watching his arm. You see his arm and you're thinking, well, that's the one that's in the offside position. But when you go down and it's broken down and all the blue lines come on, you see that it's his right boot, which you can obviously score with, is in the offside position.
Southampton 0, Derby 0. Romeo with a header on the halfway line. Huddleston for Derby. Nice delay of pass there, finds Mount through the middle here to Wilson. Unfortunately Wilson slips, Romeo in with a challenge, Armstrong lays it off. Shane Long's down injured. I didn't actually see that happen. Southampton continue to play. Long is down and hurt, flat on his back, and I was just going through the strikers that Southampton are missing at the moment. Austin suspended, okay, he's fit. Danny Ings is missing at the moment. The youngster Michael Obafemi is out, and Shane Long looks in some trouble here, lying flat on his back, so we are going to get a slight delay in play. Southampton 0, Derby 0. And now I'm just hearing, let's see what happened there. Tamori, I think, trod on Long as he landed after trying to win a header. Between the goal being scored, Michael, and it being ruled out by the video assistant referee was 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Well, that's the problem for me. It's just too long. How can they make that better? We'd obviously gone through the whole commentary about everything. Everyone is celebrating, we've discussed. You need to speed that up.
But you can't rush it and get it wrong. You have to get it right.
Well, I agree, and they got it right. So we've got to say full credit on this occasion. It's just a shame that the whole ground celebrates. For Derby, for instance, all the players, and then now the Southampton supporters jump for joy and laugh at the Derby supporters.
Yeah, I have to say, I'd actually forgotten as well. I mean, the thing is, it's coming into the Premier League next season. We're going to get into the latter stages of the Champions League this season, and it will become such a matter of course that we'll get used to it. But I'd actually forgotten that it was here tonight. So, you sort of give the goal and you think, well, what are we waiting for? Of course, it's VAR. And as you say, the decision in the end is right. 2 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. There might be a little bit more on top of that, because that was before Shane Long had gone down injured. I'm not entirely sure he's going to be able to continue either. So, slightly broken up here, the end of the first half. He had his foot trodden on, I think.
Yeah, he might just have rocked his ankle, or it's the top of his foot. But would it be Nathan Redmond who could come on and play that forward line and lead the line? But we discussed how many strikers for Southampton. That'd be the last position. That'll be his argument when you say to him, I want to know, why do you make so many changes? It's a good opportunity for you. We understand why it is, and in the build-up we sort of say, should they have gone stronger? Should they take that opportunity? These are the pitfalls.
Shane Long's back on his feet, and he's hobbling quite heavily. He will try and continue. I'm sure he'll try and get to half-time at least, then they can have a look at him. We're into added time at the end of the first half on BBC Radio 5 Live. Long making his way towards the touchline, and VAR heavily involved again in this FA Cup third round replay. Craig Bryson's excellent calm finish ruled out for an offside earlier in the move. Shane Long is still making his way to the sidelines here. Southampton will have a throw on the left, where I think they will give the ball back to Derby. Southampton are going to be down to 10 for the time being. Shane Long's just making a call on what he's going to do here. Ralph Hasenhüttl has been involved in the conversation. Derby continue to play. Doesn't want to take any unnecessary risks with Long. Former centre forward himself, Hasenhüttl, so I'm sure he'll be used to the knocks and know what that's all about. Good challenge from Romeo on the edge of the penalty area. Long's back on, and he might be played through on the right hand side here. So Shane Long straight back into the action, into the Derby penalty area. What can he do with this? Holds it up, lays it back to Ward-Prowse. Low cross, takes a deflection. Roos out, catches it at his near post and falls gratefully on the ball just outside his 6-yard box.
He had a burst of pace, did Shane Long. He's gone down the right hand side. You're thinking, will he go left or right? It was good defending, to be honest, from Scott Malone. He didn't show many, but now he's got that limp back on.
Giant picture of a steak and kidney pie on the big screen above that goal away to the right hand side. That is making me feel hungry.
It's healthy January though, Ali.
No,
That's
I
not
can't
good.
have that. Can't have that. Southampton 0, Derby 0. Waghorn jumps with young Kane Ramsey. Ball comes off Waghorn, out for a throw into Southampton in their right back position. Not long left in the first half here. Some decent football played by both teams. Brilliant save from Roos to deny Shane Long. Derby's goal ruled out by the video assistant referee. Long is still not moving entirely freely here. He's jogging his way up the middle of the pitch, and then Tyreek Johnson plays a ball down the inside left channel that no one can give chase to, and it comes back to Roos, the Derby keeper. So I think Anthony Taylor is ready to blow. He is. There we go. Half time at the St Mary's Stadium. Southampton 0, Derby 0. And guess what we're talking about at half time, Michael? I mean, like I said in the verse, I am a fan of the video assistant referee because the decisions are right, but you actually almost predicted, not what was going to happen, but the thing you don't like about it, the fact that you think a goal's been scored, everyone celebrates, and then 2 minutes later it gets changed. It was such a fine line, though. That's why it took so long. You could see they've done the job. VAR has worked. Yes, that's what we want to see. It was a special goal from Derby's point of view. Bryson going in, as you said, a little overs and a 1-2 and a great composed finish into the bottom left corner. We've had a great goal attempt by Shane Long, saved by Kelleroos, but VAR's took the story of the first half so far. Heated jacket might come in useful if we have extra time. Half time is Southampton 0, Derby 0. Yeah, clear and obvious is terminology that's used in VAR. It doesn't apply to offside because offside is black and white and is an objective decision, but equally, if you go back to pre-VAR days, we were always talking about trying to give the attacker the benefit of the doubt. That's an incredibly tight decision. It's not a clear and obvious error that the linesman's made not spotting it, but in offside that doesn't count. One little message I spotted on Twitter this evening from Ian Ladyman of the Daily Mail, which amused me. He says, a brilliant Derby goal ruled out by a chap sitting in a caravan with a ruler and a set square. VAR, you wanted it, and now you have it. Enjoy. So that's one viewpoint on the video assistant referee in action tonight in this FA Cup third round replay. Second half is underway. Southampton 0, Derby 0. Nathan Redmond on for Tyreek Johnson at half time. I'll get the thoughts of Michael Brown on that in a second. Early attack by Derby down the left hand side, and Scott Malone has fizzed across right over the Southampton crossbar. Tyreek Johnson, he had an interesting first half, didn't he, Michael? So first start for the club, 20 years old, playing sort of left wing back, could have been booked for diving in the first 10 minutes of the game, then did pick up a yellow card later on. Foul throw. It just seemed very edgy, very nervous, didn't he? He did seem a little bit nervous. He started very well, actually, Ali. It was a great run down the left-hand side, a fabulous ball. But, these things happen. You've got to look as a manager. He's on a yellow card. He's had, obviously, the dive. One little thing now when he goes off the pitch. He's moved, it looks like, to a back four. Cedric's come across to the left-hand side to play at left back. And at right back, you see, the young boy, Ramsey, going to maybe his favourite position at right back. That's the switch up by Southampton for the second half. Cedric then at left back is up to the edge of the Derby penalty area. Derby playing in an all light grey outfit this evening. Drive from Armstrong over the bar, just a couple of feet over. Kel Roos had it covered, and it is behind for a Derby goal kick. So Angus Gunn in goal, Kane Ramsey the 18-year-old at right back, Cedric at left back, Vestergaard and Jack Stevens the two centre backs, Romeo and Ward Prowse in front of them, and then Redmond, Armstrong and El Yunusi with Shane Long through the middle for Southampton. 5 changes tonight from the 2-1 win at Leicester in Ralph Hasenhüttl's original starting lineup. Frank Lampard made 6 changes. Kel Roos in goal, changed both his full backs tonight. Jayden Bogle and Scott Malone right back and left back. Richard Keogh and Fikeo Tomori the 2 centre backs. Tomori the 21-year-old on loan from Chelsea. Mason Mount also on loan this season to Derby from Chelsea, the England youth international, playing in a midfield 3 with Craig Bryson, the scorer of the goal that was ruled out by the video assistant referee, and Tom Huddleston marshalling things from central midfield. Waghorn and Harry Wilson in support of the bustling figure of Jack Marriott through the middle. Winners of the tie will be away to Accrington Stanley in the 4th round. This is the last spot in the 4th round, the last FA Cup third round replay this week, and then we'll be into 4th round action a week on Friday. The Premier League is back this weekend, starting with a 12:30 commentary on 5 Live. Wolves against Leicester, our 3 o'clock game on Saturday. The leaders, Liverpool, lead Manchester City by 4 points, are at home to Crystal Palace, and they don't always find it easy against Crystal Palace, so that could be an interesting one. Redmond's ball across the face of the penalty area, intercepted by Bogle. It was looking for Shane Long. Bogle's now come sprinting out to the right-hand side. He's another 18-year-old who's really making his mark in the game this season. Frank Lampard has been very impressed with him. Throw in for Derby on the right. Here's Michael Brown.
Yeah, he's done very well. Bogle, it won't do him any harms with Adi Boothroyd, who we discussed in the first half, the under-21 of England manager. He'll be coming to watch a few of the players. I've seen him earlier on. He's excited for the game because they're getting the opportunity to play at this level, on the stage, live on TV at such a big audience. So it's, like you say, great opportunity for him.
Not seen too much of El Younousi so far, the Norwegian international. Moves in from the left-hand side, finds Redmond. Redmond's been good for Southampton in recent weeks. 4 goals in the last 6 games, 2 of them in the original tie against Derby that finished 2-2. Ralph Hasenhüttl's hands must be cold because they're not only in his pockets, but he's also got gloves on tonight. Southampton 0, Derby 0. I forgot to start the stopwatch, but luckily it's up on the big screen. Drive from range. Angus Gunn goes flying to his right to cover it. It was Mason Mount's shot. It bounces once and skids past the right-hand post and out for a goal kick. I don't know if you've been a bit coy in the first half, Michael. I looked up the 2010 FA Cup final at half-time. We were talking about you and Frank Lampard going head-to-head. One thing, Frank Lampard's penalty wasn't saved. It completely missed the target. First penalty ever in an FA Cup final not to be on target. I also read that Michael Brown conceded the penalty. Is that... Hang on a second. Is that right?
I'm not sure, Ali. I'm not sure. No,
you don't remember that?
No, my best memory of it was for a different reason. My wife was pregnant and the baby was due, which was my son. He was due on cup final day.
Oh, right. El Younousi's ball towards Shane Long. Tamori slides in, runs to Redmond. Redmond on the edge of the area. 1-on-1, good save. Roos comes out. The flag was up. It wouldn't have counted. And VAR would have been all over that anyway. So it remains Southampton 0, Derby 0. Back to the cup final story.
It was due on cup final day, so it was a slight worry for Portsmouth. We'd had difficult times, and we managed to get him a few days early. So my boy now, who's 8, he got to the cup final at 5 days old. So very fortunate. He was there 5 days old.
Goodness me.
So I think that could be. I don't think that.
What, youngest spectator at a cup final?
It's got to be. What a start.
It's got to be close, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but the worry was on, do I go to the berth or do I play in the cup final, Ali?
So he is now 8 years old.
Yes, he is.
9 years old this year. Good. Richard Keogh on the ball for Derby. Can't imagine he'd remember too much about the day.
I keep telling him, I show the videos.
Yeah.
I like, every now and then I bring them up.
Michael Brown with us on 5 Live. 6 minutes gone, second half. Southampton 0, Derby 0. Plenty to talk about this evening, despite the fact we've not had a goal. Cedric's throw. Redmond flicks it on, asking Shane Long to chase it down the left-hand side. Keogh has it covered, almost disappears over the hoardings. Felt that was a naughty little shove there. The 2 Republic of Ireland players didn't like it. Keogh, it's a goal kick for Derby.
Well, I think there's a few people out there on the radio from last night who'll be wishing extra time on us after we've said that.
Might be.
Hopefully there's some goals soon.
Yes. Roos clears with his right foot. Ball headed clear by Ramsey on the halfway line for Southampton. Mount is strong in the challenge there against Armstrong. Huddleston just delivers the ball on. Derby with Bogle inside his own half. Back to Keogh. Keogh to Roos. Redmond comes hurrying in. Roos off his unfavoured left foot clears. Ramsey, powerful header, and then Tamori returns that with real interest. Muscles his header across the halfway line. Lovely flick from El Younousi. Finds Cedric on the left-hand side. Now, obviously, he doesn't like to cross with his left foot. Comes back onto his right. Ward-Prowse, low pass into Redmond. Little touch from him and a lay-off to Armstrong. Kane Ramsey, the 18-year-old, making ground down the right. Back to Armstrong. Derby back in numbers. Romeo makes a nice little run, edge of the area. Tiny little pocket of space for him. Given to El Younousi. Right-footed curler. Took a little flick. And Roos makes an easy catch for Derby.
Much better. You've seen Romeo go and join in, make the extra man. That was the difference. just again quality. Talked about Cedric down the left hand side, he doesn't want to cross with his left foot, bring it on his right. The players are having a go, they're trying to make things happen. So, you know, there's some good movement out there. We just need that little bit of quality like we see in the first half, but avoid VAR.
Wild challenge from El Younousi. Referee rightly plays advantage because Derby are building. They're playing from left to right in this second half towards the Northam stand, away to our right, which does have the Derby fans in. The Chapel stand away to our left is empty this evening. Mount, little ball to his left. Malone's pull back, blocked in the area by El Younousi. Derby appeal for handball. El Younousi then wins the ball off Malone, knocks it past Mount, collects it on the other side, steaming away down the right. Shane Long waiting for a ball forward. El Younousi can't find Redmond with the pass. Huddleston intercepts, and Derby will build again.
Great composure again. Tom Huddleston under pressure with Redmond, wasn't phased. He's got his body in the way and just kept the ball ticking over.
Keogh with his right foot. Could turn into a really good pass that from Marriott. Cedric just about gets there. Under pressure, down by his own byline. Has to knock it out for a throw on the right. Craig Bryson comes quickly forward to see if Derby have an opportunity to take it quickly. They don't. Jayden Bogle, the 18-year-old, says, wait, I will take it.
That's what you want from your striker. The ball looks like it's going nowhere. He makes it good. He gets his team are throwing, gets you up the pitch. Brilliant from Marriott.
Bogle tackled, ball behind for a Southampton corner. By the way, you were referencing last night's commentary. There was a remarkable attempt at a topical political gag in it by Ian Dennis, which I'll tell you about in a second. It takes a little bit of time to tell it, and I don't want to do it while there's some crucial action going on. I would say it was a brave attempt. I'm sure it was necessarily successful, and I'm certainly not going to be trying to do the same this evening. Mount was about to take the corner, stops in his stride, then with his right foot, an away swinger to the far post. Keogh jumps, good header, Gunn straight at him, leaps, tall man Angus Gunn, and makes a safe catch under his own crossbar.
It's a good ball in from Derby County. You're just watching Southampton with the zonal. You've got 4 players on the edge of the 6 yard, 2 players trying to block, but when you have Keogh, the presence of him, somebody must stop him, not let him allow to get that run. He got it away, but he couldn't direct his header into the bottom corner.
10 minutes gone in the second half. Southampton 0, Derby 0. If you are just tuning into 5 Live, the video assistant referee ruled out a Derby goal late in the first half, a really well worked Derby goal, but just offside. El Younousi trying to play a pass down to Cedric on the left, gets a second go, ball bounces back to him. Redmond to his left, finds Cedric, wants to get it on that right foot, back onto the left foot, deep cross to the far post, beats everyone. Harry Wilson stretches out a left leg, young Welsh international, clears with his left foot, crosses the halfway line. Jack Stevens sees his namesake, another Jack Marriott, closing in to Vestergaard. Vestergaard really biffs his pass back to Gunn, who controlled it well. Stevens in the right back position, long one over the top. Shane Long's in a foot race here with Tamori, and the free kick will go Derby's way. I think, was it handball from Long?
It looks that way. Very, very comfortable on the race there. Tamori, Shane Long, you know he's a trier. He gets his arm across. It was handball. Brilliant defending by Tamori. Looked very comfortable in a foot race.
Southampton 0, Derby 0, and Bogle's run the ball straight out of play down the right for Derby. Could be extra time, could be penalties this evening. Winners going through to face Accrington Stanley away. League One Accrington Stanley. That'll be Saturday the 26th of January in the lunchtime kickoff at 12:30. Cedric getting ready to take this throw, steals a couple of yards, then actually throws it back into his own half. Vestergaard, first time ball with his left foot, finds Stevens. Kane Ramsey started to make a run down the right, checks his stride, receives the pass, plays it back to Stevens again. Stevens then crosses the halfway line, nice pass away to the right hand side, cross comes in, blocked and behind for a Southampton corner. El Younousi a couple of times got himself into a good position, Mark, but then not delivered the ball. Yeah,
he has now. He's tried to get on the ball a little bit more. He's drifting from the left to the right. Again, maybe he could have just hung the ball up. He gets it blocked. Good play from Southampton, good pressure. £16 million he cost Southampton this summer. 7 Premier League starts for him. Yet to really take off here. Ward-Prowse, corner in. Oh, Jack Stevens jumping with Tamori. Tamori had a real handful of Stevens' shirt there. If Anthony Taylor saw it, he must have thought that they were both doing the same to each other. It's a good battle. Stevens in the first half had better of him. I was wondering to see, can he cope with that championship there, now stepping in from a young player going forward. He must be very, very good aerially. Yes, we know he's good on the ball. He needs to learn that. He got done early on, got away with it. Much tighter this occasion.
Cedric wins a header on the left hand side. So the topical political gag attempted by Ian Dennis last night on the night of the Brexit vote was at Blackburn. They were losing 2-0 and he described them going out of the cup as a BR exit, so a Blackburn Rovers exit making Brexit. What do you think, Michael?
He's worked on that for quite a while, I'm sure he has. He's always got a couple up his sleeve.
Armstrong offside against Southampton, free kick for Derby. So I came here this evening thinking about sort of the whole vote of no confidence line and that kind of thing, but I thought, you know what, it's just better off left, because if you attempt anything brave like that, you're only going to get stick. So, and I've had enough stick this week after losing my game of sudden death on Sunday night by getting my very first answer wrong in the category of top 30 assist makers in Premier League history. Can you think of any off the top of your head? Would you?
I'm staying quiet here, Ali. I'm staying quiet. I heard you on the show.
Oh, you heard it, so you heard me.
I heard the back end of it, and I heard you were in trouble.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Yeah. Well, I said Mesut Ozil, who obviously's made a lot of assists in the last few seasons, but if you think Premier League history, he's not top 30. So Chris rather enjoyed revelling in my defeat. Hour played at the St Mary's Stadium. Bogle's ball. Bryson under a bit of pressure, done well there. Romeo and Long were around him, dribbled between the pair of them, just inside his own area, and then plays a lovely low pass out to Bogle on the right-hand side, in towards Waghorn. Derby continue to play their stuff out from the back. Vestergaard intercepts on the halfway line. Waghorn slides in on Cedric. Free kick Southampton.
Well done, Anthony Taylor. Yes, there was a slide. Waghorn goes in, commits a foul very sensibly, calms it down. Let's play. That's what we want to see. Not just bring your yellow cards out for no reason. Just keep the ball going. And they say he understands the difference, what is a bad foul and what isn't.
Lovely pass on the spin from Romeo. Finds Kane Ramsey. Short ball into El Yunusi. 30 yards from goal on the right-hand side. Turns 180 degrees. Plays it back to Ward-Prowse. Southampton in the red and white stripes. Solid red backs to the shirts. White numbers. Black shorts. And Dennis the Menace style socks. Red and black hoops on the socks for Southampton. Romeo back to Vestergaard. Cross to Jack Stevens. Ward-Prowse deep inside his own half, under pressure from Mason Mount, twisting and turning, gets his pass away. Nathan Redmond gives chase. Tamori had a few yards head start on him there, gets to it first, back to his goalkeeper Roos. Roos runs to his right, clears heftily with his right foot, and Vestergaard is able to let that bounce, and his pass forward is intercepted. Bryson couldn't control it, and it comes through to Angus Gunn. So
you've come on to that hour mark now, Ali. You're thinking, what can your substitutes bring? You've got Lawrence,
yes.
Mason Bennett. You've got David Nugent, who can get yourself a goal for Derby's point of view. Southampton a little bit more limited. But when do they do that? When do they make the decisions with it possibly going to extra time?
It's about being brave here. Which manager is going to try and change this? Be positive, affect the game, and grab it by the scruff of the neck. Both of them are watching intently. In the tracksuit trousers and trainers. Lovely turn from Harry Wilson. Long way out, hits it hard. Straight at Angus Gunn. Nasty one for the keeper. Must have been moving through the air that. Most of the shots, I think Gunn has made 4 or 5 saves, have pretty much all been straight at him this evening.
With that brilliant confidence from Harry Wilson back in the team today. He's had that hip injury that's kept him out a couple of games. He takes a Cruyff in the middle of the park, pulls it out of his feet. You don't ask any questions, he just shoots. It does move quite a lot. Great effort, full of confidence.
10 goals this season, a couple really stick in the memory. Obviously the free kick against Manchester United in the League Cup tie. It's also a great free kick, I remember, for Wales against the Republic of Ireland. Southampton playing the ball out of their own half into the last half hour of the game. Southampton 0, Derby 0. Ward-Prowse, short little pass to Romeo. Romeo spots Cedric, the Portuguese, in a bit of space on the left hand side. Derby defence is backpedaling. Cedric rolls it into Redmond. Redmond with his back to the Derby goal on the edge of their box. runs away from goal, eventually is able to turn. Huddleston passes him on to someone else. Redmond's ball almost found long in the penalty area, he couldn't control it. Mount lays it off to Huddleston, plays a neat pass through the middle of the park. Bryson looks to his right hand side. Mount, who started this move, has to chase hard to keep the ball in on the right. He's done that. He's got the beating of Vestergaard, and then Bogle ran past his pass and Romeo intercepts, flicks it away to Stuart Armstrong on the left hand side. Southampton fans excited about the counter attack. Armstrong plays it wide left to Shane Long. Long with his right foot, dreadful cross right at the goalkeeper. That is poor, and Long's annoyed with himself, slaps his cheeks in frustration.
Again, counter-attack from Southampton, that's where they've got to make it work. You got Long, you got Redmond in the middle of the pitch. They've got to do a little bit better than that. I want to see those runs from Armstrong. He's not really done that, he's not created much tonight. He needs to get in the game a little bit more than he is doing.
0-0. Tamori on the ball for Derby. Little 1-2 with the left back Scott Malone. Southampton, of course, have already made the one change at half time with Redmond coming on. Youngsters really on the bench. Other than that, Sam Gallagher is a striker who spent the last couple of seasons on loan in the Championship at Blackburn and Birmingham. Marcus Barnes, who's 22 years old, made his debut in the first tie against Derby. Is another one of the subs. Callum Slattery, who's made a couple of appearances this season as well. Cedric, little step over on the left into the feet of Redmond. Neat layoff to Armstrong. Finds El Yunusi, bit of space. First touch on the left foot, rolls it onto his right inside the Derby penalty area. Short pass to Shane Long, tried to flick it past Tamori. Tamori got his body in the way. Vestergaard wins the header inside the Derby half. Back to Stevens. Feels like there's been quite a bit of Southampton possession in the last 5 minutes or so.
It has. I think it's helped them going to that back four. They've had a little bit more control. You would expect Southampton to have some part of the possession. Derby had so much of it, especially after the first 15 minutes of the first half.
It's Michael Brown with us on 5 Live. FA Cup finalist 2010, semi-finalist with Sheffield United as well. Redmond darting in from the left onto the right foot, hits a dipping drive, well saved by Roos at the near post, palms it away, and then immediately leaps to his feet and balls at the defenders for allowing Redmond to get the shot in.
Well, Jack Marriott, who would come up against Redmond, for some reason he's on the edge of the area, right on the corner. You wondered what Redmond can bring. You've seen his goals in the first leg. He's fresh coming off the bench. He pulls onto his right foot in the corner of the box. He hits a great shot towards the top corner, but Kelsreel's quite comfortable, really, pushed it away for a corner.
Corner whipped in by Ward-Prowse towards the near post. Header won by Waghorn, flicked past the far post and out for a corner again to Southampton. And Ward-Prowse is going to make the old third man to fine leg journey in cricket terms from one side of the pitch to the other, because he has the best set piece delivery for Southampton. 0-0, 25 minutes away from extra time at the moment. Michaels counting something up in the Derby penalty area. Ward-Prowse delivery wasn't really worth the journey to the other side of the pitch. Straight at Waghorn, volleys it clear, and it's out for a Southampton throw.
Very poor delivery. No, I was just seeing that they were 3 for 3. Who was marking the near post? Just so I could get a lead. If there is a free header, who can we talk about? But the poor, I was just going to talk about his quality that he has, and he makes that flat corner at the near post. If you're going to do that, make sure. I think that's always the one, as a coach's point of view. Can someone get across the front just in case that ball does that?
Kane Ramsey, young fullback, waiting to take the throw for Southampton. Into Long, back to Ramsey. Long again, under pressure. Tamori makes the tackle. Clears with his right foot. Gives that a mighty hoof. Stevens on the volley, back downfield. Hits Ramsey. Ball drops inside the Derby half. Ramsey has it, gives it to Long. Long, little ball to El Yunusi inside the penalty area, away from Keogh, stands the ball up. Shane Long with the header, cleared off the line, and then headed in by Stuart Armstrong, which means Southampton finally break the deadlock in this cup tie. Southampton 1, Derby 0. I'm looking at the referee, Anthony Taylor. I'm pretty sure that goal is going to stand.
Oh, I'm not so sure. We're all looking at Anthony Taylor to see if anything's going to happen. This is the strange situation. Tom Huddleston's talking to him now. I'm sure this is going to stand. El Yunusi gets down the right-hand side from a little good play by Shane Long. He stands it up. Armstrong follows. It's just that clip ball into the middle of the pitch. It's a great header from Armstrong on the rebound off Long. So Southampton take the lead.
Stuart Armstrong's 4th goal of the season. Right, this is exactly the situation we were in. Everyone marching back to the halfway line in the first half when Derby's goal got ruled out, but the goal is being announced around the stadium. Celebrations complete. Anthony Taylor's listening here. He is listening and he's being spoken to, and Derby are not kicking off just yet. And here we go again. VAR having a look. No offside there. Little slip from Richard Keogh. Ball stood up to the far post. Brilliant clearance off the goal line. I think that was by Keogh again. That's got to stand, hasn't it, Michael?
It's got to stand for me, but we said that last time. Goal stands.
Yeah.
It was a good header from Long. Brilliant defending by Derby, but it just fell to Armstrong, and he didn't ask questions again. Simple header into the net.
Southampton 1, Derby 0. Keogh's slip was slightly crucial. It just gave El Yunusi that space and time to find that cross. Long did the right thing with the header, sent it back the other way. It's a fabulous goal line clearance, and Stuart Armstrong, like any good poacher, was there, and here he is again, winning the ball on the halfway line, trying to find Nathan Redmond, well read by Scott Malone, who gets it back to his goalkeeper, Roos. So Derby have just over 20 minutes to try and find an equaliser. Southampton 1, Derby 0. Bryson pings the ball infield, easy for Stevens to intercept, casually knocked around by Southampton. Romeo inside his own half to Stevens. Jack Marriott's chasing. Stevens glides away from him, finds Redmond, one-on-one, onside. Redmond with the scoop finish, 2-0. The video assistant referee will have a look at it. The linesman's flag stayed down, but if the goal stands, I think that will be that, and Southampton will be through to the 4th round to face Accrington Stanley. Southampton 2, Derby 0.
You could see they'd gone ahead, the confidence was there, 1 or 2 passes, and then the build-up's good. They step in through the middle of the park. Stevens releases Redmond. It was a great run off the shoulder. Tamori couldn't deal with it. The goalkeeper, Kel Roos, comes out. He waits and he just dinks it. Sublime finish over Kel Roos. And we've now got VAR yet again.
Yes, we are having a look at the offside, and I tell you what, I think he's behind the line, just as close as Waghorn's foot was being over the line for the Derby goal in the first half. Redmond's is behind the line, and there is a man full of confidence with that finish. It was a lovely dinked finish from the edge of the box. Southampton 2, Derby 0, bang bang like that, and the cup ties pretty much slipped from Derby's grasp.
Well, it is. Once they got that confidence, they've gone to the back 4 like we discussed. They did look a little bit better in possession. Derby maybe ran out of steam. They'd done so well in the first half. They dominated the first half for me with the possession, with a little bit of quality. Very unfortunate not to go ahead with the VAR, but now Southampton, that bit of class, have got themselves ahead.
Derby trying to respond. Mount trying to find Marriott. Stevens had a good game at the back tonight for Southampton. Intercept. Southampton go looking for a third. Shane Long makes the run. Tamori in the right position, chests the bouncing ball down up to the halfway line. Ward-Prowse lays it off to Romeo. Back to Ward-Prowse and across to Kane Ramsey. Decent performance from Southampton in this second half, and it will be, if they go on to win it, only their second home win of the season. So if you are someone who regularly comes and watches your football here, you haven't seen too many of these.
Well, you haven't, so you'd be thinking there'll be a few more people in the ground than there is. But again, Derby County, will they make some substitutions and try and put this right? They're a team that don't give up, Ali.
Yeah.
You've seen that against it. The confidence will come in. They will keep trying to do it. But you listen to Hasselhutton's, his opinion on Redmond. He said what he needs to do is keep improvement and do the other side of the game. He feels like he's getting it. He feels like the trust there. You've seen his quality there on his finishing.
Sam Gallagher waiting to come on for Southampton. The striker I mentioned, who was on loan to Blackburn 2 seasons ago, scored 12 goals in all competitions there. Birmingham last season managed 7 goals there. Has scored for Southampton as well. Ramsey's cross into the far post beyond everyone, and Bogle will let that run out. I think he will, for a throw in to Derby. So Gallagher's coming on. His last Southampton goal was all the way back in March 2014. That's because he's been away on loan. He will replace Shane Long, who's done his running for the evening, picked up that knock late in the first half, and the Southampton fans quite rightly applauding the efforts of Shane Long. So it's going to be an important win for Southampton as well, Michael, in terms of this is only, I think a 9th game under Hasenhüttl, so he's still trying to get them used to his ways, the way he wants to play. They've had 3 wins in the Premier League, but it'll mean a win against Leicester at the weekend, another win against a decent Derby team. It all helps, doesn't it?
It does help. It breeds that confidence that they need at this football club. He understood today by making the substitution that he could find it difficult with the young players. It looks like now they're going to come through that to get themselves another game against Accrington. But it's a feel-good factor around the place. The supporters, he's discussed, they've not seen many wins here, Ali.
No, that's absolutely right. Not many last season, and only 1 this season. I wrote it down actually, so 6 wins in 31 games from the start of last season. If you come here regularly, it's not great, is it? Double change coming for Derby, and you made a good point as well there, Michael. Let's not forget they were 2-0 down in the first tie, and they went bang bang. They scored 2 goals in the space of a few minutes and got back into it. And
you look who they're bringing on, Lawrence and Nugent, who are part of all that going, of what Derby can bring attacking wise. I think Derby have done well. They've given themselves a good account. They've just been unfortunate, as we discussed in the first half, with that wasn't to be goal.
Waghorn cross, Vestergaard blocks it well, kept his arms out of the way. Waghorn gets another ball, not Waghorn, it's because I said Vestergaard. Here's Keogh down the right. Oh, good skill from Bogle. Little nutmeg on Cedric, wins the free kick. Cedric will get booked for that. Derby waiting to make the double change. Frank Lampard is going to go for it, going to try and get them back in this tie. If they lose this one, by the way, just 1 win in 8 games for them. So, it's the opposite thing to what I was just talking about for Southampton.
They will be concerned with that. We're just going back to Bogle now. It's a brilliant nutmeg. Cedric gets a yellow card. But going back to Derby, that's what you say about confidence, and 1 win in 8 is not ideal when you're a team in the Championship, in the top 6, going for that playoff or even automatic promotion. Probably too much for them. They have come a long way.
Yeah.
Can they get a little bit more strength in depth? I think they've discussed possibly towards the end of the window if they can get the loan players in. I don't think they'll be spending a lot of money.
No, made quite a few signings in the summer ahead of this first season in charge for Frank Lampard. Jack Marriott off, David Nugent on. Tom Lawrence is not coming on just yet. He's sat back down. He is stripped off and ready to go, but they've only made the 1 change so far. From the neutrals' point of view, 15 minutes to play. For the excitement of the cup tie, you kind of want Derby to score here and then give us a sort of tub-thumping last 15 minutes. Southampton fans obviously don't want that. Harry Wilson is dangerous from set pieces. Will he shoot from here? It's right on the corner of the penalty area. Wilson with his left foot does shoot. Oh, straight through and in. And Derby are back in the game with 15 minutes to play. Now, what are Southampton appealing for here? Vestergaard's got his arm up. Angus Gunn is appealing as well. It's another one that'll be checked by the video assistant referee. Did anyone get a touch on it? Was anyone in an offside position in the keeper's eye line? That's what Gunn's complaining about. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, it's a brilliant execution. You've just seen the quality we discussed in the build-up. What the quality he has on the ball. He doesn't disappoint. He's in that corridor. Great effort into the far right, left corner. But someone goes to head it. That's what they say, who could be in an offside position. And he does interfere with it. And that's why Gunn doesn't move. I think this will be disallowed.
Yeah, well, we're looking at the line of Derby players as they attack the free kick. There's 4 of them in an offside position. So if they are considered active, or if someone got a touch, that is not going to count either. Derby are going to have 2 goals ruled out by... No, they're not. That one does count. Anthony Taylor points to the centre circle. Southampton 2, Derby 1. The video assistant referee has been a very busy boy this evening. Anthony Taylor is smiling away, and we've got a cup tie on our hands in the closing stages. And Michael, you're surprised that's...
You did say for the neutral, we did want it, we do want it, but...
Right, we're hearing 1 boot. I didn't see it on the replay. 1 Southampton boot has kept 4 players onside there. Harry Wilson's free kick has gone straight into the back of the net. Had that boot not been in that position, they could have been ruled out for offside because they were affecting play. But there we go, Southampton 2, Derby 1.
See, from our point of view, and we're looking, and the goalkeeper's waiting for that header. As the ball's fizzed in and everybody goes to just get a glancing header on it, the goalkeeper stays at that point. So he can't take the risk, Ali. That's the difficulty. That's what he's asking for. But if there's a boot that's played him on, incredible again.
Two incredibly tight calls for the video assistant referee this evening on those offsides. The Derby one ruled out in the first half, allowed to stand in the second. Ward-Prowse with a free kick, flicked on by Keogh towards his own goalkeeper, but safely into Kel Roos's arms. So 12 and a half minutes to play. Derby back in the game, and Southampton will remember very well what happened in the first game. They went 2-0 up, ended up finishing 2-2. If it gets to 2-2 tonight after 90 minutes, then we're into extra time and penalties. Gunn clears with his right foot for Southampton. Flag up, offside against Southampton. Free kick for Derby, taken quickly. To admire this Derby team as well for the fight they show. I saw them at Chelsea in the League Cup. They went behind there, scored a couple of own goals. They kept coming, kept going.
They do keep coming, and Ali, they'll get more opportunities. It's just whether they can shut up the shop, not give Southampton, as they commit bodies forward, Southampton that other goal. There is chances in it for Derby County.
Tom Lawrence is waiting to come on, so that will be the second part of the double change we were talking about. There's Sam Gallagher, gets his first touch of the evening. He's done well for Southampton, takes it off Keogh. El Yunusi through to Redmond trying to find Gallagher again. Tamori is there to clear. Romeo gets onto the loose ball for Southampton. Poor first touch from Armstrong, gives that away. Malone is there for Derby. Pass to his left hand side. They're going to try and play out from their left back position. Lovely couple of 1-2s between Malone and Mount. Back to the goalkeeper Roos with his right foot. Gets right underneath that, up towards the halfway line. Stevens comes forward to win the header. Mount, little ball to his left, finds Harry Wilson, the goal scorer, and out for a throw into Derby on the left. Here comes the change. The fourth official's board in the FA Cup, I remember this from last season, when it's your side of the ground you can't actually see it, so he needs to turn and show that to the rest of the ground, but he's not shown that to us. But I can tell that's Tom Huddleston coming off, so we're okay.
But it's another attacking move. Huddleston, that deep lying midfield player. I think Bryson's been excellent in the middle of the park. He might now just have to sit that little bit more, just for another 5 or so minutes before you take that full gamble. Lawrence will be looking to get forward to try and create something for the likes of Nugent. One
more change up his sleeve, Frank Lampard. If it goes to extra time, then the managers of course have an additional substitution to make if they so require. Will we need that tonight though? Southampton 2, Derby 1, BBC Radio 5 Live, 10 minutes to play. 5 Live Football Daily podcast available on the BBC Sounds app if you fancy a listen to that on your way into work tomorrow morning. You could also listen to 5 Live Sports Extra from 7 o'clock for day 4 of the Australian Open tennis. Commentary on Johanna Konta's next match against Garbine Muguruza tomorrow. 10 minutes to play. Here's Ward-Prowse on the halfway line for Southampton, quite happy to take the sting out of the game. Vestergaard's ball forward. Good first touch from El Yunusi. Gallagher I thought he was going to be offside there. He was intercepted by Tamori anyway. Mount trying to get away from El Yunusi. Tripped himself actually, doesn't get the free kick. Thumped downfield, and Derby are able to build from the back again. So you think, Michael, they will get another chance in the last 10 minutes of this game?
They're going to definitely get a chance. They'll commit that many bodies forward. You know that they've got the licence to go and do that. They take Huddleston off. The only thing we've seen with the difference for them at the moment is that Southampton have the pace of Redmond and the quality. Is confident in the moment. So they've just got to watch out for that one, that they don't go too early. Well,
will the chance come here? That's Lawrence getting away down the left-hand side, just outside the penalty area. Ramsey in front of him, plays the ball back to the edge of the box. Malone shoots it, almost ran to Wilson at the far post. Mount chests it down, little touch onto his right foot. Bryson plays it back to Tamori. A few nerves around us from the Southampton fans. Wilson on the right-hand side, left-footed cross in. There's the header, top corner. Martin Waghorn. Derby from 2-0 down are back to 2-2, just like they were in the first game.
Oh, what a ball in. It's the build-up play. That's fantastic from Derby County. It gets onto that wonderful left foot from Harry Wilson. He delivers it right into the middle of the goal, right onto Waghorn as he's arriving. He can't miss those. Heads it into the top corner. Magnificent play from Derby County.
Well. Southampton 2, Derby 2. and a repeat of that highly entertaining first game. Southampton taking the 2-0 lead. Nathan Redmond, I can see him bawling at his teammates. He can't believe they've thrown away a 2-goal lead again. But you said it, Michael Brown, another chance would come. Lawrence was definitely a good change, so was Nugent. It's offered a lot of threat for Derby, and Wilson, the quality, A from the free kick for the equaliser and B for the cross.
It was brilliant quality, Ali. You just look how comfortable he was on that right hand side of the box. He just brings on his left foot. He's on a plate for Waghorn.
Redmond on the turn for Southampton. He's going to try and win it on his own. Lays it off. El Yunusi shoots, slices it wide and behind for the goal kick.
Well, we just called it. Can they get back in this game? The neutrals are watching all around the world, watching it as it's on BBC
tonight.
And tonight for everyone to see. Now it's turning into a good game. This is what we came for. Can there be a winner?
Accrington Stanley fans, I'm sure, listening to us this evening, still don't know who they're going to face in the fourth round. Southampton 2, Derby 2 as it stands. Extra time is on the way, but Michael's okay. Heated jacket is on, still working, I think. Looking toasty on my left-hand side.
It might not last extra time though.
No.
Hopefully I've
Power
charged it long
low.
enough. No, it's good.
Can you plug in while you're wearing it, or is that a ridiculous thing to say?
You can charge it off the battery. Your phone.
Right.
You can charge your phone and everything.
Angus Gunn with his right foot clears up towards the halfway line. Ball falls to Armstrong. Tamori in with a challenge. 50-50. Wilson jumps in. Wilson gets it on the centre spot. Mount gives the ball away. Ward-Prowse towards Armstrong, then to Redmond again. Redmond running away from Mount. Good defending from Mason Mount. Gets back at him, wins the ball, plays it back to his keeper, who calmly chips it back to Mount on the left-hand side. 6 minutes to play. Taking you all the way through if it goes to extra time. Here on 5 Live, Roos clears with his right foot out for a throw into Southampton. 2-2.
That's the pressure you don't need. Kel Roos there, quite comfortable. His touch is just not great. It gives them the opportunity, the momentum, then Southampton to come back in it when they were in control.
Cedric getting ready to take this throw. Midway inside the Derby half, down the left. Jayden Bogle read it, controlled it, thumps it clear. Stevens heads it forward. Romeu slips, throw in for Derby. Wilson down the line. Tom Lawrence knocks it past Vestergaard. Stevens is there, clears with his left foot. Lawrence didn't like something there as Stevens ran past, and the pair of them share a word. Just because of the way the game's gone tonight and the involvement of the video assistant referee, I've got a funny feeling that we might have a winning goal, but there's going to be some sort of controversy around it perhaps. Bogle tackled on the right, gets frustrated, shoves Romeu to the floor. Free kick for Southampton.
Full credit for Derby County, the way they've applied themselves, the energy they've got now at 2-2. Most championship sides, a Premier League team, would wait and think, well, we've got extra time, can it go to penalties, we've got back in the game. They're the ones setting the momentum, taking quick throw-ins, trying to make things happen. Full credit.
Yeah, a lot of credit to Frank Lampard as well. Loves the FA Cup. Desperate for his team to get back in it. Got back into the first tie, got back into this tie. Loads of games coming his way as Derby trying to hold on to that playoff spot at the moment. Just one win in their last 7 games in all competitions, giving everything tonight to try and get through to that tie away to Accrington. Romeu blocks Bogle. Couldn't really get out of his way, but it was a free kick, which Derby have just inside the Southampton half. We're into the last 4 minutes of the 90.
Ali, do you know when you look and you say Shane Long, he put a good shift in, he did take a knock, but at 2-0, does that set the wrong message? Derby County are trying to make things happen. You take your player who's done very, very well for you in Long, your talisman at the front of the pitch.
Yeah.
Do you leave him on that little bit longer?
Mount, right-footed ball from the free kick. Well, what if Derby go and win this? Waghorn on the right-hand side, just beaten to it by Ward-Prowse, knocked out for a corner. Southampton under a bit of pressure. That'd be some story if they threw away a 2-0 lead at home to lose 3-2.
All I'm going to say is Richard Keogh, the run, it ball found him last time. He's now got someone marking him. You see the difference.
I've got my eye on him. Mount is looking for him. Keogh jumps, he wins the header. It goes straight up in the air. Redmond clears it. Cedric bursting forward on his own, chased by Tamori. Challenge off the ball by El Younousi on Mount, and the free kick goes Derby's way. Now, Southampton, who were breaking there, I thought that was going to be Mount on El Younousi. It was the other way around.
Well, it's a decision you can't play. We can't see. We're all watching further up the pitch, but you see Mason Mount put his thumbs up to Taylor and say, you got that one right, you agreed with him straight away.
88th minute of the game. Southampton 2, Derby 2. Two really good cup ties between these two teams. Looking for Keogh again in the penalty area. Sam Gallagher's a big striker for Southampton, got there first to win the header. Slightly rushed clearance from the 18-year-old Kane Ramsey, out for a throw to Derby on the left. 2 minutes to play. Scott Malone comes forward, suggesting that he might go long with this throw. Super Frankie Lampard being sung by the Derby fans to our right.
Ali, I spoke to a couple of the players how much they'd enjoyed the Derby County players going to Norwich. Norwich are the team who score the late goals.
That's right. Lawrence bursting into the penalty area, headed away by Stevens. Yeah, that amazing 4-3 win. They were 2-0 down in that game and 3-2 down, and scored, I think, an equaliser in the 87th or 88th and a winner in the 92nd, didn't they?
Yes, they did. So that's given that belief that it's never over.
Lost it on the halfway line. Southampton have men forward. Can they win this tie late on? Not like that. Redmond's tackled, wins it back. 89th minute of the game. Southampton 2, Derby 2. For the right to meet Accrington in the fourth round. Cedric to his left. Finds El Younousi. Been more of a feature he has second half. Towards Armstrong. Awkward one for him to try and control. Does well. Right-footed ball to Kane Ramsey. Ramsey takes a touch inside the penalty area. Left-footed cross. Overhead kick attempt. Ball drops. Oh, and it's sliced wide by Cedric of all people on the edge of the 6-yard box. El Younousi was there. Cedric was there. The shot took a block. Southampton have a corner in the 90th minute of the game.
A brilliant overlapping run from Ramsey. He gets down the right-hand side. Tom Lawrence goes all the way. He checks back. Lawrence falls over. He dinks the ball at the back post. Gallagher goes for the overhead kick. The spectacular. It falls down for Cedric.
Ward-Prowse corner. Good punch by Kel Roos. Got good distance on that. Shoot, say the Southampton fans to Cedric. Armstrong, though, receives the pass. Crosses into the Derby penalty area. Back to Romeu from that clearance. 4 Southampton players, including the giant Vestergaard, waiting for a ball from Nathan Redmond. That might not come. Lays it short to Cedric. Goes to line up the shot, hits the shot and slices it over the bar. Goal kick for Derby. We are heading towards added time at Southampton 2, Derby 2.
Cedric, brilliant effort. He's certainly involved in everything at the moment. Just going back, he had a turn and shot. He got deflected for a corner. It's a good reaction from this Southampton side.
4 minutes of added time. If it remains 2-2, we're into extra time. And if Ian Dennis and Chris Waddle are listening, I think they might be a little bit smug about that, having poked a little bit of fun at them earlier on this evening. But the way this cup tie is going, I don't mind, actually, I have to say. Nugent, right-footed shot, slices it, and the ball goes behind for a goal kick. And more, actually, than I don't mind. You should never mind. We get paid to come and watch football for a living, and it is a joy.
It is a joy, and I would like to see penalties, if I'm honest, Ali.
Would you?
Yes, I would. I'd like to see him all the way. It'd be very exciting for me. The producer's not too happy with that one, but no, it'll be great to see. Really exciting for us. There could be a goal yet. I think there's a chance remaining. 4
minutes of added time. This is where I should have started the stopwatch, because the up on the scoreboard it just says 90 minutes. So we're into added time. End of the game, end of the 90 minutes. Southampton 2, Derby 2, heading for extra time. Ramsey, strong challenge on Lawrence. Free kick given against him. Southampton fans not happy, and I actually thought that was a good, strong challenge. Let's have another look, Michael. What do you think?
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. I didn't think there was a foul for Lawrence. He got this one. Can it be another special delivery? It's much wider from the opposite side. So would it be the outswinger of Wilson, or would Lawrence go over and bring the in-swinger to try and get something on? It's that in-swinger that's just created the goal to get Derby back in the game. They'll try it again now, but it's a high line from Southampton, right on the edge of the 18-yard box.
Free kick on the left. Mount will take it with his right foot and just float this into the Southampton area. Aimed at Keogh, headed away. Wilson on the left foot volley comes scrambling through. Gunn low to his left, makes a comfortable save down by the post. Sprints to the edge of the box. Waghorn's right in front of him, in his way. Takes his time. Clears long right down the middle of the pitch. Volleyed away by Bogle. Controlled by Romeu towards Armstrong. Quickly flicks it to his left and finds Cedric. In added time, 2-2, Southampton 2, Derby 2. Cedric on his right foot, cross comes in, Tamori's there for Derby, heads it up in the air, Ward-Prowse jumps, nods it down, Tamori again clears for Derby. Romeo, little sideways header, intercepted by Bogle, Nugent picks it up, got a bit of pace, Waghorn starts charging forward ahead of him. Derby have got numbers forward here to try and win the game. Mount to his left hand side finds Waghorn, cross comes in, header over the bar from Tom Lawrence. He really had to stretch for that. It was a difficult one to try and finish, and watching Frank Lampard in the technical area, he practically jumped as the cross came in. He was imagining himself in Lawrence's boots trying to win the game.
Oh, inside 2 minutes remaining, we said there'd be a chance. It's a great move from Derby County, composure from Nugent, gets it out wide left, it's right in the middle of the park. You think it's a simple header, just too big for Lawrence.
2-2. Redmond on the ball for Southampton, been end to end in the second half. Southampton taking the 2-0 lead, pegged back once again by Derby. Waghorn's header into the top corner for that second goal. Cedric lays it back to Romeo. Shoot again, holler the Southampton fans all around us, given to Cedric on the left hand side, corner of the penalty area. Back to Redmond. Redmond on the dribble, little 1-2 with Armstrong. Redmond's in, low ball right across the face of goal. El Yunusi stretches, couldn't get on the end of it. He was an inch or two away from putting his studs on the ball and winning the game.
Brilliant pace on the overlap from Redmond down towards the touchline. You think, can he score from there? He fizzes it across. El Yunusi's toe is just inches away from the winner in the dying seconds. Very, very close. Brilliant from Redmond.
Both managers, we said right at the start, wouldn't want extra time. Both of them have got smiles on their faces. They are enjoying this game of football.
No wonder it's been a full credit. It's been a wonderful second half. We've had everything here from VAR, great goals, great play, and full of energy from the players. And that's a full credit to them.
Yeah.
So yes, always you're thinking FA Cup wise, but brilliant second half.
Full-time whistle blows. Michael Brown will plug his heated jacket in because we are heading into extra time. Southampton led 2-0 like they did in the first tie. Frank Lampard chucked the substitutes on, David Nugent and Tom Lawrence, and again they have got themselves back in the game. Extra time is on the way. Southampton 2, Derby 2. Yeah, first period of extra time. Been a really good second half. Good cup tie this. Southampton 2, Derby 2. Waghorn's got to be offside. Now you and I can tell that one, Michael. He's a good couple of yards offside. Southampton have made a change right at the start of extra time. Another youngster's come on. 19-year-old Callum Slattery made his first team debut against Derby in the original tie. Came on as a sub in the win at Leicester at the weekend. Joined Southampton from Chelsea as an 8-year-old, but another product of the Southampton Youth Academy. So Callum Slattery is on for Southampton. Managers get an extra substitution in extra time. Southampton 2, Derby 2, and we want this game just to try and pick up from where it left off in terms of that momentum.
Well, we do, bringing that extra player on with those fresh legs. They certainly can be dynamic for those 30 minutes. They can really go for it. That's a great sort of margin of time for you to go and set the standard when others are tired as well. It gives you that little bit of hope that you can go and make something happen.
So Michael Brown with us on 5 Live at the St Mary's Stadium. Southampton 2, Derby 2. Playing for a place in the 4th round of the FA Cup this season, away to Accrington Stanley in the lunchtime kickoff on Saturday week. The game will be at Accrington. Offside again against Derby. Free kick Southampton. And we haven't had an official attendance yet, but those who have turned up this evening and didn't pack it in at half time have had a really good game of football to watch. Look at that. Speaking, it is delivered. 14,651 and 1,052 away fans. Good effort by the Derby fans there.
Yeah, great effort. Such a long way to go. We talked about in the build-up, didn't we? Would it be 10? Would it be 14? The story was 14. It was bang on.
Southampton 2, Derby 2. Scott Malone for Derby. Ball into the feet of Lawrence. Nice layoff back to Malone on the left-hand side. Dangerous ball towards Waghorn. Vestergaard gets a foot on it. Nugent just flicks it round the corner to Harry Wilson. Wilson's right-footed cross blocked at source by El Yunusi. Corner for Derby, and Jayden Bogle's down injured for Derby.
what's the bet? And it's a touch of cramp. He's really put it in this evening. He's been up and down trying to make things happen. He's been very busy on the ball. You know, when you see players get the ball and just lay it off, he's tried to make something happen every time he's got it. Been a good performance. Can he carry on?
Another change coming Derby's way. Will this be Bogle immediately? It might be. He's coming towards the halfway line. Dwayne Holmes, the American, will come on, who signed from Scunthorpe in the summer. He's just getting the last instructions from the Derby coaching team. High five and a hug from Frank Lampard, four-time FA Cup winner with Chelsea. Also lost the final as well against Arsenal in 2002. As he applauds the Derby fans. Both these clubs, by the way, Southampton and Derby, have won this famous trophy. Derby did it once, 1946. Southampton famously as a second division side, the 1-0 win against Manchester United in 1976. If only I had that sort of information at my fingertips when I played games of sudden death on a Sunday night, it would help. Corner into the penalty area. Tamori jumps, tries to get the header down, comes back to Lawrence, drives it through a packed, crowded penalty area, took a flick on the way through, and it's behind for another corner.
Brilliant defending, getting that block, that desire. James Ward-Prowse makes sure there's no direct route to goal and diverts Lawrence's shot. He didn't catch it great, but well played, Lawrence.
4 minutes gone in the first period of extra time. Theresa May's statement on its way in about 15 minutes time. Bring you news of that as soon as we get it. Mount's corner into the penalty area. Southampton 2, Derby 2. Headed away. Here's little Dwayne Holmes, chased by little Nathan Redmond. The Derby have it inside their own half. Lawrence quickly steps out of the way of Sam Gallagher. That was fairly easy for him to do. Running at pace at the Southampton defenders. Awkward pass for Nugent to control. He did it well. Gives it to Waghorn. Nugent was almost played through there. Ball runs to Kane Ramsey. Ramsey trying to run it out from the back. Clears up the right-hand side. Malone read that well. Steams forward into the Southampton penalty area. Stands the ball up to the far post. Cedric alert to that. Heads it away. Pretty much on his own goal line. Mount's trying to let it run for a throw. Southampton player El Yunusi got a foot on that to clear it. Here's Tamori. What a lovely step over from Tamori. Saw Redmond coming, threw him with the step over, played it to Keogh. Keogh to his right finds Holmes. Dwayne Holmes on in this right back position. Blimey, he's got a little turn of pace. Speeds down the right. Vestergaard. And then brilliant overhead clearance from Cedric. Redmond's able to control and turn inside his own half. Gallagher starts to make the run down the middle. Redmond plays a good pass to him. Tamori's with him. Gallagher holds him off inside the penalty area. Gallagher looking for a layoff here on the edge of the box. Played across here to Ward-Prowse. Could hit one from here, but he's closed down quickly by Mount. Given to El Yunusi. El Yunusi down to the byline. Cross into the near post. Keogh blocks it and clears with his right foot for Derby. 2-2. Lawrence away down the left, good bit of skill, takes him away from Ramsey. Romeo, committed defending, comes sliding in, concedes the throw.
Brilliant from these players. You know, in extra time, that desire. Tom Lawrence, 2 lung bursting runs. Romeo comes round with a cover. Brilliant desire from these players to continue at the tempo. You ask can they do it? They have started that way. 6
minutes gone in this first period of extra time. Possible penalty shootout on the way to determine the winners of this FA Cup replay. Throw in to Malone. Remember, Derby beat Manchester United in the League Cup earlier this season, winning 8-7 in a penalty shootout and scoring all 8.
They were incredible penalties. I was in the studio that night. The penalties were amazing penalties. That give them the confidence. I think that sort of stepped their season up for Derby County.
Yeah, and tonight as well, if they go into another shootout, Frank Lampard can say to them, well, remember what you did last time. Lawrence is going to try and win it before that. Stumbles forward, no free kick. Hopefully going to be end-to-end like this throughout extra time. Midway through the first period of extra time on 5 Live. El Yunusi's popped up on the left-hand side. Dwayne Holmes is full of energy. Gets his tackle in. Bryson onto the ball for Derby. Keogh rolls a pass back to Kel Roos, his goalkeeper, up towards the halfway line. Stevens has time to bring it down, play it forward to Romeo, into El Yunusi, lays it off to Romeo again. Cedric just making tracks down the left-hand side. Right-footed, floated ball towards Callum Slattery. Slattery jumps into Malone. Malone takes a knock in the face. Free kick Derby. Slattery protests his innocence, and we're just going to get a a little delay in play. It was Phil Jones, wasn't it, that night, who stepped up and took the fateful
yes, it was,
last one for United.
Jose Mourinho sort of said he knew he would sort of miss. He was the one. I felt that I didn't really like that of a player when you're going back. We're just going back to that there with Malone. It's a clash of heads. He just goes up to flicks the ball on, and he gets caught, and you just see Callum Slattery just catch him on the head. It was two clashes of heads, but he's come off worst as Malone.
Just seeing that BBC Television's coverage of the extra time means that the BBC News this evening is going over onto BBC Two on a momentous day at Westminster, but news is bumped to BBC Two at 10 o'clock. We're here on 5 Live taking you through to the end. Mason Bennett is getting ready to come on for Derby. Southampton 2, Derby 2. VAR heavily involved this evening. So much to talk about from this game.
Yeah, there is. I'm just watching Frank Lampard, Shay Given, Jody Morris. They're all having that sort of laugh and joke with each other. You can see how much they're enjoying this stage of being here with their team and that transition going from player to management.
So, lengthy delay here. Scott Malone rubs the side of his head. It's going to be okay. Southampton fans rather unkindly jeer him to the side of the pitch. Free kick for Derby, edge of their own penalty area, with 5 minutes remaining at the end of this first period of extra time. Wolves-Leicester is our 12:30 commentary on Saturday from the Premier League. Liverpool-Palace in full from 3 o'clock on Saturday. Jack Stevens with a header away. Mason Mount nods it forward. Sam Gallagher brings it down for Southampton. Feeds it out to El Yunusi on the left-hand side, and Dwayne Holmes, not going to take any risk there, just chips the ball straight out of play for a throw into Southampton on the left. Cedric takes it. Redmond comes towards him. Redmond keeps the ball at his feet. No one comes in to tackle. Rolls it back to Vestergaard. Vestergaard crosses the halfway line. Finds Romeo. Back to Stevens. Ward-Prowse moving into position for Stevens. Stevens just goes long over the top. Not a great ball. Derby have it back.
It's very cagey now, isn't it? It's cagey a little bit. It's gone a little bit flat. You understand it. Just a little break in play. It will open up again.
Sidewinder from Roos right down the middle of the pitch. El Yunusi back there for Southampton. Just got to be a bit careful he doesn't lose it here. Running back towards his own goal. Gives it to Vestergaard. His pass will be chased by Gallagher. Slightly on his heels there, Gallagher. I don't think he thought that was coming through to him. Tamori beat him to it. Long ball over the top. And all of a sudden, last couple of minutes, it's just got a bit tired and a bit hopeful with the passing rather than the crisp, short stuff we've seen throughout most of the game. Stevens into Romeo. Romeo on the turn inside his own half. Across here to Kane Ramsey, who's got no excuse for being tired at 18 years old. Here's Romeo. Across to Redmond. Not the best pass that, giving it away. Nugent, first touch wasn't great, second touch was worse. He's given it back to Southampton. El Yunusi, 25 yards out, rolls it to Ward-Prowse on the edge of the area, cross blocked by Nugent. Did the work for the team there. He had to, because it was his mistake throwing for Southampton.
It was his mistake. He almost got his team in trouble. Great recovery from him. He holds his hands up to when he wins the ball back to the Derby counter supporters, acknowledging that he'd made the mistake.
Mason Bennett, who's missed a fair bit of football recently for Derby's coming on. Harry Wilson is coming off, but Harry Wilson right at the centre of this Derby fight back. He's been out with a hip injury, missed the last 2 games, scored the equaliser from the free kick, scored the first goal for Derby from the free kick, and created the equaliser with the inch-perfect cross for Waghorn's header into the top corner. But he also took a penalty in the shootout against Manchester United and scored it. So a penalty taker is off for Derby. Gallagher's layoff, looking for Callum Slattery. Fairly unrecognisable Southampton team out there at the moment. As Kane Ramsey gets ready to take a throw. 3 minutes remaining in this first period of extra time. We've had a little bit of stoppage in here as well for that injury to Malone. Ramsey with a short throw. Back here to Gallagher, who's pulled to the floor. Doesn't get the free kick. Slattery actually was fouled there. Stevens across to Vestergaard. Vestergaard to Romeo. Derby close in, pressing high. Southampton work it well. Slattery tries to get it to Ramsey. Derby win the throw. On the left inside their own half, Malone gets ready to take it. Southampton 2, Derby 2. Malone, you can see the breath and the cold night air here on the south coast as he takes a big stride into that throw-in. Ramsey heads it forward for Southampton. Bennett chases onto it. Vestergaard runs into it. Good thud of boot on ball as he wins the tackle. Now Cedric, chased by Bennett, up to the halfway line, looking for the run of Redmond, covered by Keogh. Keogh plays it to his right and finds Holmes. Holmes goes down, picks himself up, plays a pass through the middle. That works out nicely, finds Waghorn. Waghorn looking for the run of Nugent. Nugent gets away on the right-hand side into the area, looking for Bennett. Bennett can't catch it. It crosses the byline. It's behind for the goal kick. Was that the right pass? It
wasn't the right pass. I thought he could have come inside. David Nugent likes to pull it on his right or left foot and have that curling option. He plays the ball. It's just too heavy. You can see he's just chased around a little bit, possibly just ran out of steam. I know he's come on as a substitute, but once you do a couple of those lung bursters, you just need that little couple of minutes just to bring yourself back and calm back down.
Southampton goal kick right at the end of this first period of extra time at the St Mary's Stadium. Angus Gunn plays it long down the middle of the pitch, headed straight up in the air. Nice first touch by Gallagher, comes tumbling forward. Free kick, probably about 30 yards out. Where he's fallen is not where Anthony Taylor's given the free kick. Ward-Prowse could hit one from here. It's a long way out though, Michael.
Well, he could. It is a long way out. He just gets caught. There's Gallagher, a big strong boy. He's trying to make his presence count. Just gets caught there, but well done. The referee, it was running away. You weren't sure if he was going to get the free kick, but it was a free kick. He just knocked him off balance.
I would say just under 30 yards out about. Redmond has the ball in hands. I think it's probably going to be Ward-Prowse to strike. Monaco 1, Nice 1, by the way, final score this evening in Liga. That was Thierry Henry against Patrick Vieira in the technical area. Here it's Hasenhüttl against Lampard. And a little bit of concern here for Frank Lampard. Can't look at the moment, just turns with his arms crossed. 1 minute of added time at the end of this first period of extra time. Redmond or Ward-Prowse?
It's a long way out, Ali. I think it's more like 35 yards. You can see, the walls there is very, very big. You've got 5 or 6 in the wall. Southampton players are trying to take a march or behind the wall just to distract the goalkeeper. Kel Roos is just checking it one more time, but it's a good opportunity, but it's going to have to be something special from this distance.
Well, James Ward-Prowse can hit a mean free kick. Whistle blows. Will it be him or will it be Redmond? It will be Ward-Prowse. Over the wall, over the bar, and behind for the goal kick. Ambitious from there. He is a good striker of a dead ball. Sometimes from that range, you wonder whether the dipper and the swerve is a bit better than that sort of caressed one with the instep.
Well, for the distance, that's where you're right there, Ali. The distance is too far just for that curling effort. You need to get your laces through it. If you're going to do it from that distance, you've got to give it it's got to be inch perfect, if not.
There we go then. First period of extra time is over at the St Mary's Stadium. Not really any great chances in that 15 minutes of football. Best chances actually came right at the end of the second half. So as it stands, we're still heading for a shootout. Half-time and extra time, Southampton 2, Derby 2. Yeah, just wondering what's going to be more exciting, the statement or the second period of extra time at the St Mary's Stadium. I guess it's whether you're into your football or your politics, or both maybe, like Neil Warnock. Throw in for Derby, right-hand side. Light grey kit, playing from left to right in this second period of extra time. Southampton 2, Derby 2. Great credit to Derby again in this cup tie. And I'll go back to my original stat actually in the game. Southampton have never beaten Derby in the FA Cup. So this is the 6th game they've played. 4 ties there have been. And Southampton are yet to win one. Derby with 3 wins and 2 draws that went to replays. And this one may go all the way to a penalty shootout. Derby are slowly working their way down the right. Couple of throw-ins they've won. Dwayne Holmes, long throw into the box, flicked it. Oh, header over the bar from Lawrence. Good chance.
Oh, it's not a good chance. It's an unbelievable chance. They've worked the long throw-in. It's flicked on by Nugent right in the middle of the park. 6 yards out. I can't believe he misses. It's a great opportunity, and he puts the ball over.
Goal kick, Southampton. Plenty of loyal Southampton supporters have stayed until the bitter end to see if their team can make it through to the 4th round of the FA Cup away to Accrington. The winners will go. Ball is headed away by Malone for Derby. hoofed back to the edge of the Derby area. Dwayne Holmes under pressure from Nathan Redmond. Last touch was Redmond's, he knew that. Gives the ball to Holmes to take the throw. Long throw down the touchline. Waghorn chested it down. Southampton are giving it back to Derby. Bennett rather clumsily plays the ball through the middle. That's intercepted. Southampton are thinking about another change. Angus Gunn with his right foot up towards Sam Gallagher. Chests it down. Keeps it for Southampton. Driving at that Derby defence. Tackled by Mason Mount. Mount with a low pass up to Nugent. Quick layoff to Waghorn. Nugent goes scuttling away to his left-hand side. He's got that real sort of busy short step sprint as David Nugent, and the free kick has gone against Kane Ramsey, who's hurt himself and is down for Southampton. Unless that's cramp, isn't it?
It's cramp, and that's a young player, 18 years old. You can see this a huge game from the amount of volume he's put into it. Cramp does get that for a younger player till he just gets a little bit stronger through his career, and it'll happen a little bit less for him. He'll get some stick off his teammates for getting cramp.
Marcus Barnes is getting ready to come on for Southampton. You say, 22 years old, joined the club from Wolves as a 17-year-old back in 2014, made his debut for Southampton the other day in the first tie against Derby. He's just been called back at the moment because Ramsey is up on his feet and stretching off, so Marcus Barnes yet to enter the fray.
He's been on loan at Yeovil. He's brother of Giles Barnes, who played in midfield for Derby County.
Yes, and he scored in the FA Cup last season. If we're going to have a competitive,
I'm just pointing the fact out that his brother was actually a Derby County player.
So there's a little potential storyline for us if he gets to take a penalty in a potential shootout. Lawrence, edge of the Southampton area, underneath it and blasts it over the bar. Tom Lawrence has had 3 chances in this game since coming on. Late in the game he stretched for a cross and headed it over, and there have been 2 right at the start of this second period of extra time, and again just a little more composure there to get it on target.
You're right, more composure. Well, actually, as he's going to strike, Vestergaard falls over, so he could have took this touch a little bit further on. He doesn't, and he blasts the ball over the bar, but he's had some great opportunities.
Right, Marcus Barnes it won't be, Matt Targett it will be, because Kane Ramsey is coming off. Warm applause for him from the Southampton fans, another one of the academy products coming through, and surely that will mean Cedric, yes it will of course, Cedric to right back, having played left back for a fair bit this evening, and Matt Targett, who is a regular left back. Ryan Bertrand is still out injured at the moment, by the way, for Southampton. Comes on and takes up that position. So Targett left back, Cedric right back, Vestergaard and Stevens the 2 centre backs. Ball breaks for Sam Gallagher, running forward with his right foot, just lays it off to Cedric. Derby have lots of players in front of him. Ward-Prowse looking for Gallagher again. Cross is cleared from the edge of the penalty area. We are just over 10 minutes away from a penalty shootout here on 5 Live in this FA Cup replay, but Derby sniff an opportunity on the counter. Waghorn's pass not good enough there for Malone, that is, to chase from left back right the way through the middle of the pitch. Not quite sure what he's doing there, and he's still up there at the moment. And here come Southampton 4-on-2 to try and win this game possibly. Romeu, can he pick the right pass? Finds Redmond, shoots, great block by Kel Rouge, really important save. All of a sudden there, Scott Malone, who's still jogging back, was nowhere to be seen. Southampton were 4-on-2. There's some tired legs out there. Here's Redmond again, just outside the Derby penalty area. Gives it to Romeu. Floats the ball into the box. No one really chases that. And Mason Mount clears it on the volley. Michael Brown.
Another brilliant opportunity. This time it's for Southampton. The break through the middle. The overload's on, as Ali said. 4v2. It falls to the man you'd want it to be. Redmond, he takes his touch. Kel Rouge comes out of the net, makes himself very, very big. Another brilliant save from Kel Rouge. You fancied Redmond all day long.
Nathan Redmond caught offside. Free kick for Derby. 9 minutes to play in extra time. Southampton 2, Derby 2, and I should have had that pie at half time because I didn't think about extra time and my tummy is now rumbling. But there was only cheese and potato left when we got down there. I didn't really fancy.
We need to point out the fact that you did try and get one, though. It wasn't as if you turned it down.
That's a good point. Had it been a different flavour, it possibly would have ended up being eaten. Here's El Yunusi, right-footed, clearing that bouncing ball. Drops down on the halfway line. Bryson Heads it down towards Holmes. Clever little flick on from Waghorn towards Nugent. His little header is volleyed away by Stevens to Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse beats one man and then gives it to Romeo. Nice ball through the middle, can't quite find Gallagher. Tamori read that well, strides across to intercept. Holmes up here towards Lawrence. Lawrence runs that too far into Vestergaard. Ward-Prowse turns into trouble, commits the foul. Bryson brought down, they're both down. Advantage played and Nugent's ball is cut out by Stevens, and now here comes Southampton again, and Redmond's got some pace to get away from Tamori. El Yunusi's making a run for him. Still Redmond up to the edge of the area, right-footed shot, goes whistling over the bar and behind for the goal kick.
Oh, it's end to end now. They are going for it. It's just like, say, Nugent gets away, makes a poor pass, and then Southampton counter the pace of Redmond. He gets away and he pushes onto his right foot, and you're thinking, can he? Just over the bar. They're putting everything into it, these players.
Starting to think about penalty takers here for both teams. Likes of Tom Lawrence, Martin Waghorn, David Nugent, Mason Mount, I'm sure. Vestergaard with a header here for Southampton. You'd imagine Redmond, El Yunusi, Ward-Prowse, who scored a penalty for Southampton away at Leicester on Saturday. Holmes absolutely fires a ball at Bryson. It hit him. Derby have kept it. Good first touch from Mount on the left-hand side. Malone's continuing his run in support. Mount's going to take on Cedric, finds Malone. Lawrence behind him. Malone goes alone. Cross is blocked by Cedric, out for a throw into Derby on the left. 7 minutes remaining of the game, 2-2. Malone gets ready to take the throw. Lawrence comes running towards him. Immediately side foots the ball back to him. Back to Lawrence on this left-hand side. Tamori to Lawrence to Malone. Finds Waghorn. Good football from Derby. Stevens is there right on Waghorn's back. The ball rather luckily bounces back to Waghorn, and he's trying to muscle his way through two defenders. Slattery clears with his right foot. Gallagher beaten in the air by Keogh. Here's Lawrence on the left for Derby again. Tackled by Romeo. Another throw in for Derby on the left.
Brilliant energy from these players. You're just looking at the teams who are going to be playing Southampton and Derby County at the weekend, with the extra time and it being on a Wednesday.
Good point.
You know, it's going to be, they'll be rubbing their hands thinking they'll be very, very tired.
Everton come here on Saturday in the Premier League, and Reading go to Pride Park in the Championship. Free kick Derby. In an attacking position, out on the left-hand side. Keogh will be a target. Martin Waghorn has just asked Angus Gunn for a drink there. There's a water bottle in the back of the Southampton net, so Gunn has obliged.
Mason Mount now needs a quality. It is right on the left-hand side, quite close to the touchline, sort of 18 yards out. It needs to be a good delivery. You can see Keogh in the middle. Yeah,
Keogh bouncing on his toes. Mount goes deep. Oh, and then palmed away, only as far as Nugent. Nugent crosses back in. Vestergaard's there, heads it sideways. Slattery volleys it away. For a second there, Angus Gunn got caught underneath the cross from Mount, and he just managed to recover in time, backpedaled and palmed the ball away. 10 minutes played in this second period of extra time. BBC Radio 5 Live. Southampton 2, Derby 2. Malone clears with his left foot. That penalty shootout looking more and more likely.
I'm looking forward to it if it is, Ali. Hopefully we get a penalty shootout. Both teams have had a great go at this game, and I'm sure there's still more chances, Ali. I think there's another chance coming.
Okay, there, you heard it here first. 5 minutes to play. Michael Brown reckons there's going to be a golden opportunity for one of these two teams. Let's not forget as well, first tie, Jack Marriott had a great chance to win it almost with the last kick of the game. Still 2-2 here. Slattery heads it to his right and finds El Yunusi. Brings it in from that right-hand side. Good first-time ball from Romeo to target the substitute. Tries to go on the outside. Good tackle. Really good tackle by Dwayne Holmes. With his right foot, fizzes one up that right-hand touchline, but it fades away from Nugent. Gives the thumbs up to Mason Bennett for the pass, but he couldn't keep it in. Throwing for Southampton inside their own half. 4 minutes of this second period of extra time remaining. Southampton 2, Derby 2. Target with the throw. Aimed at Gallagher, didn't jump. Keogh heads it forward. Bryson, outside of his right boot. Romeo read the pass and cut it out. El Yunusi Finds Gallagher. Gallagher runs into Keogh, does well, bounces off him and keeps it and looks for Redmond. Tamori intercepts. El Yunusi though gets onto the next ball down on the left hand side. Can he find a decent cross into the area? Ball drops loose in the Derby box, and Kel Roos goes sliding away to his left. Linesman's flag is up, he gives a corner, and the Southampton players are asking for a potential penalty there, as one of their number went down on the edge of the 6-yard box. Optimistic appeal, I think.
Well, he's looking, you never know. All eyes on the referee, everyone's shouting VAR. I'm not sure if it's going to it. He's holding his ear, he's listening.
Well, they will. It's a game-changing situation, and immediately on our screen VAR comes up. Callum Slattery challenges with Mount. Slattery's left boot, Mount gets the ball, doesn't he? Is it an orange boot on the ball first? Or do they both hit the ball at the same time?
Yeah, he's got the ball.
Okay. Video assistant referee is happy. Corner for Southampton. Ward-Prowse's delivery headed over the bar by Stevens. He appeals for a goal kick. Says it came off a Derby defender. He's not going to get that decision. And for a second there, I thought my prediction was going to come true about VAR getting involved in the crucial moments of the game.
It did get involved, but it didn't come to light.
No,
you're all looking there now. It would have been harsh. It's interesting when you just see Anthony Saylor there hold his ear, the fingers there. Do you think that's he can obviously hear it, but do you think that's to let the whole stadium know that he's going to it when he puts his hand on his ear?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the signal from the referee. And then I guess if it takes a little bit of time, like the one did in the first half, you'll get the symbol up on the big screen. I was saying to Mark Chapman at half-time of the game, I'd quite like to see a referee be able to talk to the spectators as they do in the NFL. Waghorn has hit a shot and he's hurt himself in the process. Angus Gunn bowls the ball out. Waghorn's got cramp, he's down, he's not able to defend. Southampton bring it forward. El Yunusi miscontrols, it runs to Ward-Prowse, right hand side. Slattery's cross, it goes all the way through the legs of Tamori, and El Yunusi ran ahead of the ball, and Derby are able to bring it clear. As soon as the full-time whistle blows, we'll take you back to Mark Chapman and get news of this statement by Theresa May on the steps of number 10, the evening that she has survived a vote of no confidence in her at Westminster. Free kick Derby, minute to play. I think I might have to start drawing the old penalty grid up, Michael.
Well, that was the chance there. You seen it. It was a great ball down the right-hand side. Slattery goes, puts it across, but nobody could get on the end of it. It runs right through out the other side. Derby get away with one.
Free kick Derby, last minute of extra time. Lofted forward by Holmes. Header is won by Cedric. Slattery wins it for Southampton, and red and white shirts come streaming across the halfway line. Slattery still has it. Cedric in support on the outside. Goes inside to Redmond. Here's Ward-Prowse, back to Redmond, edge of the Derby area, into the box he goes, still dribbling. Redmond darting for the byline, just knocked it too far behind for the goal kick. That might be the last chance. It might be the last chance. I think he might play another 30 seconds or so. Brilliant feed from Redmond. He dances into the area. Nobody dare touch him. You think he get his shot away? He just runs out of space, and the ball goes out to the byline for a goal kick. Fourth official is there. How many minutes have we got? Can only be one, surely. 1 minute. 1 minute of added time. We are into it, and we are heading towards a penalty shootout to see who's going to face Accrington away in the fourth round of this season's FA Cup. Last minute of the game. Kel Roos clears down the middle of the pitch. Ball bounces dangerously inside the Southampton half. Stevens hooks his clearance away. Target nods it back to Angus Gunn, the Southampton keeper. And my stopwatch tells me we have 30 seconds to play. Ball bounces now in the Derby half. Last chance for Southampton. Sam Gallagher on the charge down the left-hand side. Lot to do from here. Mason Bennett tackles him. Do Southampton have time to get this throw into the penalty area? 15 seconds and counting. Southampton 2, Derby 2. Target waiting to find a teammate with the throw. Going to have to get on with this. Southampton fans urging him to do so. In it comes. Romeo lays it off. El Yunusi shoots, saved at the near post by Kel Roos. That is that. It will be a penalty shootout to find the winner between Southampton and Derby. That is on the way on 5 Live. It's finished Southampton 2, Derby 2, Mark. Southampton 2, Derby 2, it finished. Perfect timing. We're just about to get underway in the penalty shootout. The penalties surely have to be taken in front of the Northam stand away to our right-hand side, because the Chapel stand away to our left has a few club employees in, but you can't take them in front of an empty stand, and of course not. That is what is going to happen. So here we go then. Kel Roos, all in purple, the Derby keeper, number 21 on his back. Scott Carson, the regular keeper, on the bench this evening, and Angus Gunn for Southampton have the chance to be a hero for their respective clubs. The rest of the players gather on the halfway line. If Derby get through here, Michael Brown, on a shootout, as they did against Manchester United in the League Cup with some brilliant penalties, they will have come back from 2-0 down in both games against Premier League opposition. They really will have earned it.
They will have earned it. You've seen the chances that they had. We discussed about Lawrence, how he didn't put them in the lead to win this tie. I don't know. Now it's the responsibility of Waghorn. It's a bit of a lottery, penalties. I think for the goalkeepers, they can make themselves a hero. Looking forward to this one, because Derby have already gone on and done it before at Manchester United, as you say.
I wonder how involved VAR can get in a penalty shootout in terms of keepers moving off their line and the like, although the assistant referee is right on the line. Waghorn will go first for Derby. Short run, left-footed, great penalty, right into the top corner. That is exactly where he planted his header when he scored the equaliser, and that was delivered with real confidence and venom.
Amazing penalty, full of confidence. He got tired before, like a little bit of cramp. He hits it with his left foot in the goalkeeper's left top corner. Brilliant penalty.
James Ward-Prowse scored one for Southampton against Leicester at the weekend. To my memory, he whipped it bottom left as he was looking at the goal, and he's taking a diagonal run at the ball. Whistle blows. James Ward-Prowse with his right foot does the same. Kel Roos goes the wrong way. Derby 1, Southampton 1 in the shootout.
Oh, good, cool penalty. You know he's got good quality. We see David Nugent going forward now. I'm sure he played for Portsmouth with me.
He did.
So he's not getting the best of receptions.
Portsmouth, the big rivals for Southampton, trying to get into David Nugent's head. On as a substitute in this game. Very carefully places the ball on the spot. Playing for a place in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Nugent, cool as you like, sends Gunn the wrong way, and then slightly unwisely decides to shush the Southampton fans, but he scored his penalty. Derby 2, Southampton 1.
Great composure from David Nugent under that sort of pressure. You know, he puts his hand on his lips to say shush, but it's a great penalty under pressure. Frank
Lampard watches on. Took some great penalties in his time, although, as we were saying, missed the target completely in the FA Cup final 2010. Nathan Redmond is next to go, just digs his studs into that little white penalty spot. Every player so far taking quite a short run. Redmond with his right foot has missed the target completely, blazes it wide, goalkeeper went the wrong way. It's advantage Derby in the shootout. They lead 2-1. They have taken 2 penalties apiece.
Oh, it's such a poor penalty. You're seeing the man of confidence. You're thinking Redmond would actually have that composure to go and put the ball in, but he blasts the ball wide. Real poor penalty. Winners away to Accrington Stanley in the 4th round. Angus Gunn being sent back to his line by Anthony Taylor, getting through this shootout very quickly, and now the chance for Derby to go ahead. Mason Mount, deep breath, slight pause in the run, in off the bar. Goodness me, his heart will have been in his mouth for a second. It's another fabulous penalty, goes high top corner, in off the underside of the bar. 3-2 Derby. When it hits the bar like that, full of confidence, he's played well. You know he's a confident player. It's going well for him. As it bounces off the bar, you're thinking, is it going in? Brilliant penalty. Not 3-2 Derby, I beg your pardon. 3-1 Derby. Redmond's missed. This is to make it 3-2. Yannick Vestergaard, 6'7" tall. Let's see how he takes a penalty. Approaches the ball, good one, low to the left-hand side, hits the back of the net and keeps Southampton right in the shootout. They are 1 behind though. Derby 3, Southampton 2. Derby need to keep scoring to keep that pressure on. Tom Lawrence had some chances in the game to win the tie, and now it is his moment as he steps forward. Long walk, just juggles the ball, couple of keepy-ups, flicks it into his right hand. Anthony Taylor has another word with Angus Gunn. Like me, Anthony Taylor's scribbling down the score
on a little notebook in his left hand. Whistle blows, Tom Lawrence pauses, and he scores down the middle, gun dive to his left, and Derby are one penalty away from scoring all 5 and going through to the 4th round. Michael Brown.
Well, he come to the party, he's missed his chances, he went there, you're not sure when he starts flicking the ball up, is he confident? Great finish, he sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Derby's penalties, 8 in a row at Manchester United, and now again, full house.
Pardon the dreadful pun, but Matt has to hit the target. If he doesn't, Matt Target misses, Derby are through. Here he comes, left-footed, brilliant. Thumps it past Kel Roos and keeps Southampton in this shootout. But here's the chance to win it, and look who's coming forward for Derby. Richard Keogh, the centre-back, ever present in the league this season, Mr. Dependable, strides forward to try and take Derby through to the 4th round of the FA Cup. They were 2-0 down in the first game and got it back to 2-2. They were 2-0 down in the second half here and got it back to 2-2. Here's the moment for Keogh, scores! Goes to celebrate with the Derby fans. A fabulous penalty to send the goalkeeper the wrong way. Derby of the Championship, not Premier League Southampton out of the FA Cup. And, well, they deserve that. Coming back from 2-0 down in the first tie to get the replay, 2-0 down in the replay, and then scoring all 5 penalties as well. A big pat on the back for Frank Lampard and his team. Oh, brilliant pat on the back. You're sending your centre-half up. Richard Keogh, you're thinking, can he? But very cultured. He puts it into the bottom left corner. So from his right-hand side, just passes it into the goal. They all run off celebrating. Never say die from this football team. That's what is instilled. Give them confidence. Brilliant ending to a great night of football. Accrington Stanley will take on Derby in the 4th round of the FA Cup on Saturday week. And Martin Waghorn is celebrating. He has grabbed the corner flag and he is riding it as if it was a horse, and he is the jockey, a bit like Boo Weekley back in the Ryder Cup in 2008. If you meet Derby in the FA Cup this season and it goes to a replay, you do not want it to go to a shootout, because they do not miss from the spot. They've beaten Southampton and they are through. Mark Chapman.